up on the job today. The federal government is moving toward an eye-popping stimulus package to help blunt the coronavirus financial impact.
President Trump's proposal could approach $1 trillion.
We're going big.
Including what Treasury Chief Steven Mnuchin says would be checks delivered to Americans who need cash now.
And I mean now, in the next 2 weeks.
That puts the pressure on Senate GOP leader Mitch McConnell.
This is a Herculean task from a legislative point of view to try to craft something this significant.
While the proposal would help everyday Americans and give billions to airlines and other industries taking massive hits, Democrats are pitching a smaller package, focusing on workers and small businesses. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
Las Vegas Metro Police say a man and an underage friend who was wearing what appeared to be a hazmat suit were trying to create a social media stunt when they went into a Walmart and sprayed water on food, shopping carts, and customers' hands. Police say that shoppers and store employees were alarmed when it happened Saturday night and didn't know what type of liquid was sprayed. Police arrested 23-year-old Aldo Gonzalez. Police did not release the name of Gonzalez's underage friend. Joe Biden's sweeping victories in Florida, Illinois, and Arizona are building his delegate lead over rival Bernie Sanders in the Democratic presidential race, and that is increasing the pressure on Sanders to admit defeat and leave the race. The former vice president's third big night in as many weeks came Tuesday. Biden's trio of wins doubled his delegate haul over Sanders, giving him a nearly insurmountable lead. With a check on our weather, here's News 3's Kendall Kim.
We'll start the day with plenty of sunshine before the clouds come rolling in, bringing a chance for light showers to our region this afternoon. A high of...
All right, guys, 3 minutes out. 3.
43, so by our standards, it'll be a chilly day. We'll be tracking it for you with more updates throughout the day from News 3, your weather authority.
I got you.
In Las Vegas, I'm John Schaefer on the new 101.5 FM, 720 AM KDON, Las Vegas only FM news talk station. With a look at...
Absolutely. Absolutely. Just so you guys know, you guys are all coming out of the same pod, by the way.
Oh, okay. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so I'll just monitor the levels, and like I said, I will use that group chat thing, whatever, for the phone call, so.
Fire with the scene.
All right, we're all set. Thanks, guys.
Buffalo at Cheyenne still a factor. Light slowing I-15 southbound between Charleston and Spring Mountain. If you're staying in but you still want to enjoy all of your favorite Denny's items, just go to Denny's.com, place your order, and they'll waive your delivery fee. See you at Denny's.com. I'm John Michaels from the KDON Traffic Center.
Get the rest you deserve with Helix Sleep. Helix makes personalized mattresses to fit your unique body type and sleep preferences and give you the best sleep of your life. Go to HelixSleep.com and get up to $200 off mattress orders.
I'm Jim Snyder.
And I'm Marie Mortera. We want to thank you for making News 3 your #1 choice for news.
Every weeknight at 11, you can count on us to have the big story of the day.
Plus breaking news that matters to you.
Jim Snyder and Marie Mortera. News 3 live at 11.
As Trump rises like a phoenix on the wings of acquittal, celebrate his soaring place in history with a brand new 2020 Trump Silver Exoneration Medal. That's right. Now you can own the official government.com newly minted Trump 1-ounce Silver Exoneration Medal, made in the USA. Hurry, these medals are limited and only available at a special price by calling 1-800-222-3871 now. Fellow Americans, these beautiful, stunning official medals will stand forever in solid silver as a reminder of your loyalty to the man who turned this country around, President Donald J. Trump. To secure your 2020 Trump Exoneration Medals in pure silver, call government now at 1-800-222-3871. Call now and we'll give you a free Trump 2020 Patriots Pack, including a Declaration of Independence commemorative and 5 Lincoln cent coins when you order. Call 1-800-222-3871 now to secure yours and get a Trump 2020 Patriots Pack valued at over $10 free with every order. That's 1-800-222-3871.
This is the story of Julie Guillot. She's a Leukemia and Lymphoma Society advocate and the mother of a child who battled blood cancer.
Zach was diagnosed with AML, a deadly leukemia, when he was only 5. He died at just 9 years old, really from the treatment that was meant to save him.
Today, the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society is pioneering breakthrough treatments for kids with cancer. Visit LLS.org and save a child's life. Furnished by LLS.
Can a tree change a life? At Trees for the Future, we believe trees make all the difference in the fight against poverty, hunger, and climate change. Through a proven permaculture method called the Forest Garden Approach, Trees for the Future has positively impacted over 26,000 farmers and their children. Are you ready to leave a lasting
guys, 30 seconds.
on the world? Find out how to plant seeds of hope this season at trees.org/radio. That's trees.org/radio.
The new 1015 FM, 720 AM, KDON. The opinions of the hosts on KDWN are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of this station, its management, or Beasley Media Group. Right now, the day's biggest news stories from a Vegas perspective. This is the Vegas Take with Sharp and Shapiro.
You'll be able to order food to go. But a lot of these restaurants are just going to close shop. And the reason why is because many of these businesses and restaurants, they're going to be losing.
I don't know if I can make this any clearer, that people are looking for a loophole here. This is affecting the lives of our citizens. People are dying. You know, every day that is delayed here, I'm losing a dozen people on the back end are going to die as a result of this.
Are going to follow his lead. I think he showed a tremendous amount of leadership yesterday. It's a situation, especially with all the casinos in this town. We've talked about the casino chips and the germs that can be spread. You want to talk about one of the easiest places to get sick, to contract a virus? It's a casino.
I think it's a casino.
I can't hear you, JD.
You can't hear me?
No, I can't hear you through your microphone. I don't know if it's going out over the air, but I can't hear you. But anyway, we'll get that taken care of. We'll get that fixed. But listen, the bottom line is that the casinos, like I said, are some of the easiest places to get the virus, right? Yeah, your mic's not working, JD. But listen, one of the easiest places to get sick, obviously, you go to a hospital, you go to your doctor's office, you're touching things. You go to an arcade. You know, those are the types of things that you need to be concerned about the most. And as I said, when you go to a casino, going to a poker room, playing at the tables, blackjack, those types of things. Those are some of the easiest places where you can contract a virus. So listen, Governor Sisolak did the right thing. Stop it with people that are questioning him. Stop it with people. Listen, if the president said today, throughout the country, we're doing what Sisolak did, I wouldn't have a problem with it. This is something that needs to be done. This is a very serious situation. Now, I think there's both sides of the spectrum here, right? There's both sides. But I guess my question is, what if some of these businesses remain open? What if they defy what the governor said yesterday? What if that happens? What if that happens? That's my big question. What if a restaurant is supposed to close and they don't? What if a small business that is a non-essential business is supposed to close, but they don't? That would be my question to the governor. As I mentioned, we're going to be speaking with Dina Titus in hour number 3, Congresswoman for Nevada. We'll ask her those questions because I would imagine that there are some places that are going to be told that they have to close, and maybe some of those businesses will remain open longer than they should. I suspect that might happen, so that's going to be interesting. I did put up some odds up here because, you know, while this is
all right, I'm back, Brian.
While this is a serious situation, I did put a poll up on Twitter. And this poll this is what I said. I said, well, this is a very serious and dangerous situation for many in the state of Nevada. Who do you think this 30-day shutout benefits from this? I gave 4 choices up there. We got a bunch of votes already. Choice number 1 was degenerate gamblers. Choice number 2 was alcoholics. Choice number 3, government workers. And choice number 4, students. Obviously, students are not going to school. Government workers, a lot of them are getting taken care of. Obviously, for alcoholics, you could probably still find a way to buy alcohol, but it's going to be a lot more difficult for you as all bars are going to be closed. And obviously, degenerate gamblers, because there's no way to gamble legally. Now, you can go online, probably,
well,
but
all bars are closed, but all grocery stores,
those slot machines are closed.
Are open.
But you can't gamble.
And you can but I'm saying for alcoholics, and you can purchase all the liquor that you want. And I would actually argue that it's probably the place where the virus has been, you know, communicably transmitted would be places like Costco and places like Smith's. Yeah. And you see these 500-person lines and these stores that are at capacity. They're not just 6 feet away from each other. You've got this airborne virus that can live in the air for 3 hours. My question is why and at what point, if we're gonna go all out, let's go all out. Mm-hmm. And let's make it so that, you know, if you go to Smith's, you have to sign up online, and you're one of 50 people who can shop there over the course of that hour. Mm-hmm. Something along those lines to me makes sense. Otherwise, are we really doing? I mean, people are raiding these grocery stores every single morning, and they're coming in by the hundreds, and they're touching everything. How is, especially when this virus can also live on surfaces for anywhere from 2 hours to 9 days if it's metal? How is that helping prevent the virus? And that's why I don't understand why and I obviously we need our groceries. But if we're really going to stop this thing, and Steve Sisolak mentioned how there's 12 deaths on the back end. So far, there's been one death in Nevada. There's a 60-year-old man with underlying health conditions. There's been about 45 cases. I think 7 more cases came yesterday. Obviously, the cases are spiking all over the United States. You've got, I think, 7,500 cases all over the United States and 116 deaths. That's 1.6% of people who are symptomatic enough to be seen in the ER because their symptoms are severe enough are actually dying of this virus. To me, honestly, Brian, this is an overreaction and it is unwarranted.
Well, we're going to find out if it's an overreaction. It might not be an overreaction. Time will tell. But what I will tell you is that the president right now is speaking with the vice president. That would be Jerk Circle Pence. He's speaking right now. And they're talking about coronavirus testing and the capacity being expanded, which is a good thing, which should have been done months ago, by the way. But as I mentioned to start this show, we are broadcasting live from my kitchen, basically. We're not in the Beasley studios for good reason, obviously. But this show is about you. This isn't about us. This is about you. I want it to be about you, and I want the phone lines to be open throughout the show. So the number to call if you want to be a part of this conversation, your thoughts on Governor Sisolak's speech last night, your thoughts on where we're at today. All non-essential businesses are closed by noon today. It's incredible. I was talking to some people here, friends of the show, saying, hey, we can't go across the street to that famous pizza restaurant we go to all the time. We can only get food to go and eat in our homes. I mean, these are unprecedented times that we are living in, and this is going to be remembered in history. This is wild. This is crazy. It does remind me a little bit of 9/11. Opening up the phone lines right now. The number to call. We want to hear from you. This show is about you today. 702-257-5396. Again, if you want to be a part of the program, please give us a call. Questions, comments. We want to hear from you, those in the community that are suffering through this. Whether you own a small business, your kids aren't going to school, whatever the case may be. I don't know. Maybe you're a professional sports gambler and this is affecting you. This affects everybody in one way or another. Again, that number to call, 702-257-5396. That number, 257-5396. By the way, speaking of radio, there are some sports stations out there that did 3 hours yesterday on Tom Brady. And yes, we'll do a few minutes on Tom Brady. Yes, he got traded. We'll talk about that later in the show. But I think you are doing a huge disservice to the community. You are doing a huge disservice to whatever listeners you have when you decide to talk about Tom Brady for hours. You talk about the trade of Tom Brady, and you're not talking about these unprecedented times that we're living in. You know what I compare it to? Talk about a big trade in the NFL on 9/11. Did you do that?
Well, they do it, Brian, because that's their bread and butter. That's what their sponsors pay for. They're playing to their strengths. I can't really fault them for doing that because at least they have some content. Because right now, if you're a sports show, you're really kind of gridlocked in what you can talk about, and not a lot.
I disagree.
And not a lot of sports shows have a lot of experience, except maybe Ken Thompson, who does the show after us.
I disagree.
Tonight, but not a lot of sports shows have a lot of experience talking about politics and news, and in some cases, like with ESPN Radio, they aren't even allowed to. Look what happened with Dan Le Batard.
Well, I disagree with you in this sense. On 9/11, there were a lot of professional broadcasters out there that talked about what was going on. And I think it is your responsibility when you have an emergency like this, when you have things like this that are going on. And this is, to me, this is like 9/11, only some people say it could be worse. In this aspect, we don't have a lot of answers. We didn't have a lot of answers on 9/11 either. You didn't know what was going to happen. Were there going to be explosions and more terrorist attacks? A lot of people were scared. Very similar. A lot of people are scared today. We don't have a lot of answers. We don't know what tomorrow is going to hold for us. What we do know is that all these businesses, all these casinos, the Strip is a ghost town. Las Vegas is a ghost town. The state of Nevada is a ghost town for the next 30 days. That's at minimum, by the way. The governor yesterday didn't say it was going to be 30 days and then everything back to normal. Keep that in mind. That's very important. This is a minimum of 30 days. There is a chance that we could be sitting here a month from now, and the governor might expand this for another month. We don't know. This is going to get worse before it gets better. All the experts have said that. It is going to get worse before it gets better. There's no question about that. Let's take some phone calls. 702-257-5396. Again, the number to call, 257-5396. Let's go to Mike. Mike, you're first up on the Vegas Take. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Mike?
Hey, what's going on, man? First of all, comparing this to 9/11, man, that disrespects the people that died. That disrespects people like my cousin who died in Afghanistan. I mean, this is just in the military. So, I mean,
Mike, Mike, the last thing I want to do is disrespect anybody that died on 9/11. Here's why I say this is like 9/11, maybe worse, from a perspective of why people are scared. And by the way, they are saying that somewhere between some people are saying between 40 and 70% of people in this country at one point or another could contract the virus. Now, I understand that over 3,000 people died on 9/11. It's horrible. But we're looking at a lot more people that can lose their lives, sadly, than 3,000 people if what some of these people are saying are true, Mike. I mean, no disrespect for you and your family and anyone you know that lost your life on 9/11. I was 2 hours away from where those buildings went into those towers. So I'm with you. That's not what I mean, Mike. I mean, no disrespect, and I appreciate your service, anyone in your family that served this country. That's not why I say that, Mike. I'm saying that and making comparisons to why people are scared. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but let me tell you this. I'm 40. I'm be 46 coming up here. I was born and raised in Las Vegas, and to me, this is unprecedented. But also, I don't feel that the casinos and the gambling industry, I feel, has totally been destroyed now. I don't think even when you get this up, Las Vegas will never be the same. I mean, you cannot do what this guy. To me, it was a tremendous overreaction, man. Listen, when you have the light, this is like going to Detroit and saying we're going to stop all automobile production for the next.
Exactly.
You cannot do this in Las Vegas,
And
man.
not only that, Mike, but you've got 2.5 million people here in the metropolitan area who live in Las Vegas. A lot of us live here because it is the entertainment capital of the world. And you have basically removed all forms of entertainment from the entertainment capital of the world. And the casino's shutting down. The reason I don't think they're going to go away is because they're going to get bailed out by the government. They requested a bailout. Donald Trump is close with all the guys who own the casinos, the Sheldon Adelsons, the Phil Ruffins. They're going to get money from the government. I'm not worried about that. But what I'm more worried about is the people of Las Vegas who have had everything, who moved here because they don't really have limitations. Now they are totally limited. And I think that's going to be very, very difficult for a lot of people to deal with.
Mike, I appreciate the phone call. Thank you for your service to this country. In no way, shape, or form am I disrespecting those who lost lives on 9/11, but there are some comparisons I believe you can make. 257-5396. Let's go to Ed. Ed, you're next up on the Vegas Take. What's going on?
Yeah, what's up, Ed?
It's like JD says, say if someone wants a six-pack of beer, a bag of chips, some bean dip, a bottle of tequila, and a couple little cupcakes or something, you can pop into a liquor store, which is supposedly non-essential, get that in 5 minutes, and get out. There's probably not even a neighborhood liquor store. There might be one or two other people in the store, if even that, unless it's Friday or Saturday. But then it's okay to go to the grocery store or Costco or Trader Joe's where people are lined up, back to back. And then also these hair people and nail people, give them a few weeks when they don't have any money coming in. They'll be cutting hair and doing nails at their house and that sort of thing. So I don't think it was figured out that well. Why is a liquor store closed?
So what do you think the governor made Ed, where do you think the governor made a mistake last night then? Because it sounds to me like you don't agree with what he did last night.
I think he didn't think it out carefully for the minor details.
I agree.
Like in terms of what businesses and that sort of thing. And what if someone's going place to place doing home health care or appliance repair, air conditioning repair, plumber, electrician? They could be a vector too.
Well, I don't think that independent contractors like that who are mobile necessarily it'll be very hard to stop them from doing their jobs. But I think it was just more of a brick and mortar statement by the government.
Ed, we appreciate the phone call.
One final thing. In the future, maybe the sports books should be like the Caribbean and British books and take bets on politics and entertainment.
Well, that's a valid point, and actually, we're going to be talking a little bit more about that gambling aspect with Nick Bogdanovich from William Hill coming up in hour number 2. Let me put it to you this way, though, Ed, and I think this is where we might disagree. The last thing that should be on our mind right now is gambling. The last thing that we should be on our mind is, oh man, I can't go in and place a sports bet. People are dying. Right now, the number one priority should be taking care of ourselves, taking care of our families, taking care of ourselves. It shouldn't be about gambling, and it shouldn't be about cutting our hair. Shouldn't be about that either. So here's what we're going to do. As I mentioned, This show is about you. It's why we're broadcasting live from my kitchen. Literally, if you don't believe me, I know JD's laughing. It is kind of funny. If you don't believe me, you can go on our YouTube page right now, which is The Vegas Take. We are broadcasting live literally right next to my Ocasio-Cortez cardboard
And
cutout.
I'm right in front of a Christian Okoye, Orleans. I believe it's a signed Orleans picture.
If anybody knows who that is. Yes, the Nigerian nightmare. But we're taking your phone calls, and here's what I want to do. Coming up next, it's going to be all about you. We want to hear from you, the locals here in Las Vegas. What do you think about Governor Steve Sisolak's statement yesterday? What do you think about the fact that all these businesses are now going to be shut down? 702-257-5396. Again, that number to call if you want to be a part of the program, 702-257-5396. We will get to all your calls when we come back. I know we have a lot of people on hold, so we will do that when we come back. 702-257-5396. Your calls on the other side. You're listening to the Vegas Take right here on the all-new 101.5 FM, 720 AM, KDAWN.
If your retirement plan is on set it and forget it, it's time to take control. Tune in for Financial Safari with America's Wealth Coach and best-selling author, Coach Pete D'Arruda. For more than 25 years, Coach Pete has been helping people just like you plan for retirement. Join Coach Pete every week as he discusses topics like why your retirement plan should also be an income plan and how to make sure you're getting the most out of your 401k.
Financial Safari with Coach Pete, Saturday morning at 10 a.m. and Sunday afternoon at 2 on 101.5 FM, 720 a.m. KDAWN.
Some boats can take you anywhere you want to go. Other boats help you get huge hang time. But only a Yamaha boat lets you do it all at once. From the entry-level 19-foot series to the power-packed Wake series to the luxurious 275 series. Yamaha makes boats that unlock all the possibilities on the water. Get out in the sunshine and on the water. Schedule your stop by the Boating Lake Mead showroom on Boulder Highway. More information at boatinglakemead.com. That's boatinglakemead.com.
I was 9 when I lost my leg to bone cancer. I had a 50% chance to live. After chemotherapy treatments at my children's hospital and the amputation, I had beaten the odds. But would I ever be as active as I once was? Fast forward 20 years, I've competed in the Paralympics and now play on the U.S. amputee soccer team. Help kids live their dreams just like me. Put your money where the miracles are. Give to your Children's Miracle Network Hospital.
Imagine crossing a street busy with traffic. Against the light.
Watch where you're going!
Wearing a blindfold. Would you do this? Probably not. It's one risk obviously not worth taking. Some risks aren't as obvious, yet could be just as deadly, like the risk for type 2 diabetes. If you're overweight or over 45, if you're not very active, or don't eat as healthy as you should, there's an easy test you can take to find out your risk. It's free, and in less than a minute, you'll know if you're at risk for this deadly disease. Just go to diabetes.org/take-the-test or call 1-800-DIABETES. Because type 2 diabetes is one risk you can't afford to take. Take the diabetes risk test and stop diabetes before it stops you. A message from the American Diabetes Association.
Special report coronavirus update.
We will be invoking the Defense Production Act.
The president clears the way for the federal government to be able to get manufacturers to convert to making what the nation needs to fight the coronavirus. The U.S. and Canada are banned.
Check, check. Mic check, 1, 2. Check, check, check.
I know, but you guys talking. That's right, I got it.
Check, check. Mic check, 1, 2.
Did airline
Test, check, check.
Sean, can you hear me?
money? Some airlines say they'll go bankrupt before the end of spring. An Illinois nursing home with 22 virus positives is taking...
Check, check. Mic check.
Jimenez.
As we understand from the governor's office, everyone who did test positive is in isolation and visitations have been restricted.
The state of Alabama is postponing its scheduled March 31st.
Check, check. Testing. You guys hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you. It's pretty low, Jason.
Mike Moss.
Is that better?
It's time to check the road.
Is that better?
Oh, way better. A little loud. So if
okay, how's this? How's this?
Go a little bit more lower.
Lower, lower.
Perfect.
Testing,
right there.
testing.
Right there. Hey, right there.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, we're all set. We're good.
All right.
Gentlemen, we have 2 minutes back. 2 minutes, we're back.
2 minutes. Copy. Thank you.
You got it. Thank you.
It's a collision at Sahara, east of the 95. No delays to report. I-15 north and southbound looks good between the Spaghetti Bowl and the Southern Beltway. And Staples can help you grow your business this spring by printing custom marketing materials. Visit Staples Print and Marketing Services today. Staples. I'm John.
I demand to be on the air. It's about school. School out of here.
Hey, have you seen the new cyber threat warning about the conversation hub?
Hijacking? Totally. Cyber criminals are using email account takeover and brand impersonation to insert themselves into email conversations and steal money from businesses.
Right. That's why I tell my clients about
Barracuda. Same here. They use artificial intelligence to detect and block sophisticated attacks, including account takeover and brand impersonation.
Man, I guess you did see it.
Don't become a victim. Protect your business at Barracuda.com. Barracuda. Your journey secured.
Can a tree change a life? At Trees for the Future, we believe trees make all the difference in the fight against poverty, hunger, and climate change. Through a proven permaculture method called the Forest Garden Approach, Trees for the Future has positively impacted over 26,000 farmers and their children. Are you ready to leave a lasting impact on the world? Find out how to plant seeds of hope this season.
All right, guys, here we go. 15 seconds.
Mark Levin, weekdays 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Now back to the Vegas Take on 101.5 FM, 720 a.m. KDON.
All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take, broadcasting live from Brian Shapiro's kitchen. That's right, Beasley finally kicked us out. Anyway, welcome back to the show. We are happy to be broadcasting live for you. And this is about you more than it's about us, folks. It's your chance to vent. It's your chance to share your opinions. We are in the twilight zone right now. If you had told me a week ago, not only would all sports be canceled, but we would be all basically be quarantined, for lack of a better term. All businesses that are not essential, according to our governor, have to be closed today by noon. I'm not making this stuff up. Right now, the Strip is a ghost town. All these casinos are closed. This is unprecedented times. On 9/11, they didn't close down the casinos. I mean, this is incredible. And it's sad because a lot of people are hurting now. There's a lot of people that aren't getting paid. There's a lot of people that are not going to be able to pay their bills. And we're going to go to the kind of like the national response to this. Trump and all these other politicians, how are they responding to this? I'm going to criticize both sides of the aisle, folks, because there's plenty there to talk about. But we want to hear from you. We want to hear from you locals. This is about you. The number to call, 702-257-5396. And again, if you want to be a part of the program, give us a call, 257-5396. Let's go to Darren. Darren, you are first up this segment on the Vegas Take. Thanks for your patience. What's on your mind?
Hey, what's up, Darren?
Steve Sisolak's new nickname is Kim Jong Siso. Please and laugh.
All right, thanks for the call, Darren.
Yeah, really.
Thanks for the call, Darren.
Really great call, Darren.
Appreciate the call. First of all, let me be very clear on this. On a day like today, where a lot of people are hurting, some people are dying, we're in unprecedented times.
One person has died in Nevada.
Yeah, but I'm talking
Vegas.
nationally.
Oh, okay.
I'm not talking just Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm talking nationally. This is a very serious time that we are living in. And for anybody that wants to call in and joke around about this and thinks it's funny, you have serious psychological problems. You should be, let me be very clear on this for that last guy, Darren, who just called in. Many of us are being quarantined, but when this disease, when this virus is done, I hope that man is quarantined for the rest of his life inside his apartment because he is a moron.
That is a ridiculous
Complete
overreaction.
idiot.
He has called into our show since day one and done that bit.
Yeah, well, whatever.
So, yeah, and if I were, and this is producer Jason, and if I were there in the studio, I would have recognized that fool's number.
That's all right.
But Sean, you don't know.
It's okay.
He snuck one past the goalie there.
All right, so
I'll deal with him when this crisis is over.
I don't have a giant problem with a little bit of comedic relief, though.
702-257-5396. Again, that number to call if you want to be a part of the conversation, 257-5396. Your thoughts on Sisolak yesterday, his press conference, which is unprecedented. It's going to go down in history. All of these businesses that are not essential will be closing today at noon. No casinos. If you're a gambler, you're out of luck. 257-5396. Let's go to Chad. Chad, you're next up on the Vegas Take. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Chad?
Chad, are you there? Did we lose Chad? I think
Yep, done. Jim next. Jim.
we got Jim. Jim is next up on the Vegas take. What's up, Jim?
Hey, what's up, Jim?
Jim, can you hear us? Did we lose Jim? I think we lost Jim
Let's
as
go
well.
to Shane next. Shane.
Let's
Shane.
go. Let's try this again. 3 times a charm. Let's go
We'll
to
get it done.
let's go to Shane. Shane, you are next up on the Vegas take. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Shane?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
Doing great.
What's on your mind?
So, like, okay, I understand what they're trying to do, but, like, he makes this speech, non-essential employees, okay, right. How's that? If someone's going to get sick, they're going to get sick. You go to the gas station, someone's sick, calls on the bill, gives it to the clerk. The clerk hands that same bill to someone else, touches something. They touch it. My fiance does nails. She's not canceling her appointment. She's like, well, they want to keep crowds to a minimum, right? She's only one-on-one. I mean, we're outraged. Like, they announced, you guys must stay home, but what's the plan? They didn't tell us the plan. What are we doing? We're sitting on our thumbs.
Shane, let me hang on the line here for a second, Shane. Listen, you bring up a good point, and you're right. People could contract the disease if you're at a gas station, if you're using the same pump that somebody just used. People could also get sick, in other aspects. There's no question about that. But you have to understand, casinos are a whole different ballgame. If you're going to allow concerts to happen and you're going to allow people to gamble, you'd have to admit, Shane, that there's certainly a higher risk of people contracting the virus. While I agree with you, people could get the virus at a gas station. People could get the virus at a grocery store. We can't close down gas stations and grocery stores. Those are necessities. I'm sure you would agree with that. It's not a necessity right now in the next 30 days to get a haircut, right, Shane?
But Brian, you can't close down the grocery store or the gas station. I get it, but you can limit how many people are in there at once so you can maintain the social distancing. Right now, if you're in a line of 200 people, well, are you 6 feet in between those people in that line? Of course not. If you're in a store and there's 200 people or 300 people in a Costco, I mean, I think a few days ago, like 5 days ago, there was a line that was 1,150 people long. If that is taking place, then you're doing nothing. I mean, it's totally counterproductive and counterintuitive to stopping the virus if you're doing that.
Chad, does that make sense?
Well, it makes sense, yeah, that, but what's the plan? Like, he didn't give us a plan. Are we going to get... Are the people that he's saying stay home, not work, are they going to help pay their rent?
Here's the plan. Here's all he said. And by the way, Shane, I do appreciate the phone call. You make some good points. Here's the plan.
Good call, Shane.
Here's the plan as far as I know it. The plan right now is that all these essential, non-essential businesses are going to be closed for the next 30 days. There's no reason why anybody should have to worry about what they look like. Hold on. There's no reason why anybody should worry about their hair. Now, I don't have any hair, so I never worry about that. But in all seriousness, gas stations, shopping as far as food, that sort of stuff, that's essential. There's no reason why anyone should go into a TGI Fridays and sit down there and have a meal. Get food to go. There's no reason why you should have to play blackjack right now or go to a slot machine. There's no reason why you should go to see a concert. Now is not the time. It's just not the time. 702-257-5396 is the number to call. Again, that number, 257-5396. Let's go to Kevin. Kevin, you are next up on the Vegas take. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, Kevin?
Hey, guys. I'm going to try to say this without, just losing my cool here. Just first of all, I don't even know how to say this to you guys, but the people, you have to understand that this is out of control. This is a pandemic. Our arrogance has got us to this situation people are calling about, trying to find ways of whittling out of this.
Right.
There's no way around this.
Yeah.
What the governor did last night, or the mayor did last night, was totally called for. You guys have got to stop. Our arrogance has got us to this point.
Well, I agree with you. Where have I? No, but hold on a second, Kevin. I personally, I agree with you. I'm defending the governor, Sisolak. I mean, who are you speaking of?
No, I know you are. I'm just saying that the callers are calling.
I got you.
There's no way to get around this. We have to understand.
I agree. Yeah.
We're not getting through this without, going in as hard as we can. We don't
Kevin,
know what we're in.
Kevin, you're right.
And Kevin, to me, it seems like an overreaction because I'm looking at the actual numbers, and I'm a data guy. I'm seeing 45 cases in Clark County. I'm seeing 1 death. The person who died was 60 years old. He had underlying conditions. Now, if there are,
JD, this is the start of this.
If there are more people dying, If say there's actually been 20 or 30 deaths in a week, then we should know about that. But I'm saying based on what the public is given right now, it seems like an overreaction, and it's going to, and that goes for a national level
disagree.
too. You look at 7,600 cases across the country and 116 deaths. The numbers just don't add up.
Go ahead, Kevin.
For shutting down the entire country.
Right, you're looking at numbers that are coming in slowly.
Exactly.
But just understand that these numbers will possibly explode. Not even possibly, they're going to explode. I'm right now. I'm sitting here with an itch in my throat that comes and goes. I don't know if it's a cigarette or if I'm coming down with it. I'm a sanitation worker.
Well,
okay?
do you have a fever of 101?
No, not yet. You understand
well,
what I'm
that's
saying?
good.
He doesn't. Hold on a second, Kevin. I want to be responsible when we talk about this virus. You don't have to have a fever, JD, to have the virus. Medical professionals are saying there's all sorts of different symptoms. Some of the symptoms are fever. You could just have the sniffles and a sore throat. In fact, there are people walking around in our society right now that don't have any symptoms that are carrying the virus. That's very important.
I understand we could all be carriers, but
Yes.
if Kevin's symptoms are 101 fever along with the itch in his throat, then he's considered symptomatic.
You don't have to be symptomatic to have the virus.
I get that, but the whole worry is that we're going to overrun our healthcare system, right? With people that require ventilators and people that require respirators. When you may have the virus and you may have mild symptoms, you're not going to overrun the healthcare system.
Well, Kevin, I agree with you. I appreciate your phone call.
Yeah, good call, Kevin.
And you're right, by the way. Sisolak did what he needed to do. I appreciate the call, Kevin. 702-257-5396. Again, that number to call is 257-5396. Your thoughts on Sisolak's comments last night, the fact that all these businesses are going to have to shut down. The Strip is a ghost town. I'm going to walk the Strip tonight just to see what it's like when nobody's there. I've never seen that before. Let's go to Charles. Charles, you're next up on the Vegas Take. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Charles?
Yeah, I got about 5-6 quick points. I want to expound on JD's comment. Like the casinos don't like to lose money, but they've bent over and they're going to get a golden parachute. That's what I'm upset about. Like Kevin Durant and Tom Hanks, how come they get tested and we don't? And then
good point.
Just FYI, Sportsman's Warehouse, they're rationing ammo. It's like Sandy Hook type stuff. I don't know if you guys know that. And I got some buddies that are vendors. They deliver foods and stuff to the restaurants, and that stuff's going to rot on the docks. And I'll let you make your last point, but I just want to interject real quickly. You make a very good point. You know, people like Tom Hanks, who, by the way, wasn't in this country when he got tested, to be fair, but all these professional basketball players getting dibs on being tested. You know who I want to see being tested? Anybody who is in bad health, the people who need it the most. Kevin Durant, while he's a celebrity and he's got a lot of money, I get that. Kevin Durant is in great, almost perfect health. We're talking about the people that need it the most are not professional athletes. They're the people that are older, that have other health complications, high blood pressure, diabetes, their immune system is down, whatever the case may be. I don't want to see somebody like Kevin Durant getting tested.
And it's not just Kevin Durant. It's those with a lot of money. You have private doctors right now that major corporations are reaching out to, and they're getting their employees tested. And situations like that are taking place simply because they can afford it.
Go ahead, Charles. Make that last point.
Okay, last point. This is regarding Obama, Clinton, and Bush, all the ex-presidents. If they really care about what's going on, they would join with Trump and get on TV and say, let's work together. Why aren't they doing that?
I agree.
That's a valid point.
I appreciate the call, Charles. I think, listen, Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, all these people should be more involved. I want to see Obama in front of the cameras. Listen, there's a lot of Democrats that do not like Donald Trump. I'm an independent. I can't stand the man. We're going to get to the reaction from Donald Trump coming up in hour number 2. Trust me, you're going to want to hear that. But I agree with you. I think all these former presidents should be at least being a little bit more active and do those television interviews. Now is the time. The country needs you. 702-257-5396 is the number to call. Let's now go to John. John, you're next up on the Vegas Take. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, John?
Gentlemen, thank you so much. Listen, I've been wanting to call this show for a long time. Mr. Shapiro, I agree nothing with what you say, but you are an extremely fair gentleman, and that's why I love listening to you.
I appreciate that. It's not all, John, what you just said it. We're not always going to agree, and that's fine. Actually, I prefer it that way. We can disagree.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. So I appreciate that, John. So what's on your mind? What do you think about this?
So I just passed the gun shop on Boulder Highway. I'm on my way to my job at the Strip.
Yes, sir.
Probably the last day that I'm going to be at my job for a long time.
Wow.
And I'm very emotional about this. There was a line out the door, probably an hour wait to get in there. People are scared out here. They really are.
I agree.
And people need to calm down, and they need to take care of each other. And you know what? All partisan aside, you take care of your family, you take care of your neighbors.
Absolutely.
Come together.
Absolutely. Can I ask what type of business do you work at?
Yes, sir. I work at the Venetian.
So so they actually closed down before Sisolak. They announced they were going to close. I give them credit for that, by the way, John. They announced they were going to close before Sisolak made this announcement yesterday. What were your thoughts on that? How are some of your friends that work there responding to that?
Well, you know, Mr. Adelson is taking care of us. He's not furloughing or laying anybody off. And he evidently is going to pay us for a little while.
Good.
And that,
Good.
That is tremendous.
I'm glad to hear that, because if he's willing to donate millions of dollars to the Republican Party, he certainly should take care of his employees.
I'll tell you this, Brian. Sheldon Adelson and Sisolak are very close friends.
That we could talk about
Right.
Yeah.
But
let me just say this, John.
The win is taking care of their people.
Good.
And
Good.
You know, and I understand some companies are not. You know, I have friends. It's a bloodbath out here on the Strip. I have friends who've been, at Bellagio for 20 years, and now they're laid off. You know, it's ridiculous.
Well, listen, John, I appreciate your kind words. I appreciate your story and you calling in. Let me tell you this, my friend. It's going to be all right. I'm glad that you are being taken care of by Sheldon Adelson. That makes me feel really good to hear that. You're going to be back to work soon, my friend. Let's just get through this together as a community. People like you are very important, the ones that work in the casinos and the service industry. Everything is going to be all right, and I'm not a psychologist, and I'm not here to calm you down, but I am saying this. Eventually, you're going to be back to work, my friend, so I appreciate your phone call. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks a lot, John.
Yeah, appreciate that.
By the way, Brian, Sisolak and Adelson are very close friends. I would imagine that Adelson was aware of what was going to happen with the announcement from Sisolak before it happened, and that's why they agreed to pay everybody, and that's why they agreed to close the doors.
702-257-5396 is the number to call. Let's go to Brady. Brady, you're next on the Vegas Take. What's going on?
What's up, Brady?
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen. Hey, JD, the numbers that you're always referring to, you might as well throw them out the window due to the fact that when they let some people off the Princess Cruise Line with no test, let them run rampant through the United States and wonder why we're at this point in time. No statistic is ever going to compare or make anything rational in the history. It's going to make the Spanish flu look like a case of acne, okay? Right now, we're going to be shut down at noon here in Vegas. It's not going to be for a month. It's probably going to be more like 18 months.
Well, I hope not. I hope not, Brady.
Oh, just hang on. Hear me out here. And due to the fact is that this virus is just finally getting recognized here in the Valley, and the cases are coming back. So you're going to have an exponential. Come this, let's see, tomorrow, Friday, you're going to have a huge explosion of the virus, and they know that. And they know that this virus is not just
There's no question. There's no question. I agree.
Young people.
Listen. Here's where we agree, and I think when it comes to this virus, Brady, we agree on a lot. I agree with you that it is going to get a lot worse before it gets better. Not just because you're saying that, because our health professionals are saying that, and you're absolutely 100% right about that. I don't think we should be going crazy right now and panicking. We need to take care of ourselves. We need to listen to doctors. We need to listen to the president. We need to listen. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I am. We need to listen to our leaders and our health professionals. It's going to get worse before it gets better, period.
And listen to the grocery stores when they say limit 2 rolls of toilet paper per person.
Yeah, that's very important.
So I saw carts full of them yesterday.
We'll get to that.
Sanitizer.
702-257-5396. I thought we had Robert next. Is Robert not the next person?
We got Wayne.
Is it Wayne? Okay. Wayne, you're next up on the Vegas Take. Thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
Hey, what's up, Wayne?
Hey, how are you two doing this morning?
Good. Good. As good as we can. As good as we can. Me sitting in my kitchen in a robe doing a radio show. This is bizarre.
I think you're the only guy I've ever seen wearing a robe and one of those special paperboy hats.
It's a fashion statement.
Yeah,
Wayne, what do you think about this? What's on your mind?
Well, the one last caller, he's got the rights now to touch people's hearts because it is scary. Totally. And if it does go as long as 6 months or a year and a half, that's really, but I was trying to explain to you guys the other day when I got on, but there was way out of line callers, and you guys were kind of radical that day. That's when I called you an executive. But I went to a medical thing. the laboratories they're working with.
Wait, what did we say that was radical? I'm sorry to interrupt you. What did we say, in your opinion, that was radical?
Some of the callers were willing to call you out. They think that you're a little overpowering. Or
So you think
don't
it's
listen.
radical for me to defend myself on the air? Is that radical?
Not at all.
So why are you calling us radical then?
I didn't.
You just called us radical. You said we were radical.
No, I said you had a radical day.
Okay. How did we have a? Oh, because you're saying some of the callers were crazy. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you were really caught up with them.
Okay,
and
I
when
got you.
on the air, I didn't feel like I was being heard.
Okay. Well, you know what? I apologize you felt that way, but on days like today, this show is about you.
Radio, Brian, it's not that bothers me right now.
I understand.
What bothers me is I got some good information. Okay, because I've been active duty military for a number of years.
Thank you for your service. Yes. Appreciate that. Just next time, don't call up and be radical.
Wayne, how about you share your good information?
Okay, next time, don't be radical. 702-257-5396 is the number to call. Jason Stein is our producer. Jason, who do we have next on the line? Who is the next person?
Steve is next.
Steve, thanks for calling into the Vegas Take. What's on your mind, my friend?
Hey, what's up, Steve?
Hey, JD and Brian. Brian, interesting concept. It harkens me back to the olden days of KDON when you used to get 3 minutes to express your opinion. And Ted Bear, ask Mr. Shapiro if he remembers. We used to tease him about being Teddy Bear. I have a comment, but but I'm afraid somebody might not like it, and then I can't express it.
Okay, well, it depends what you say, Steve. I can't make any promises to you, but we're giving you an opportunity, so go ahead.
We don't respect First Amendment anymore.
Okay, well, Steve, here's the deal. Okay, let me explain to you how this works. We have lines full right now. Okay, you're not special, all right?
Okay, let's go.
So, yes, I'm waiting for you.
Comment about the governor.
Go. 702-257-5396 is the number to call. Again, 702. Here's the thing. When we have a serious crisis on our hands and we're taking your calls, I don't want to hear about some stupid story you have about a teddy bear, okay?
Was he calling John Schaefer?
I have no idea. 257-5396. Let's go to Carrie. Carrie, you're next on the Vegas Take. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Carrie?
Hello?
Yes, Carrie. Thanks for calling in. What's on your mind?
Hi. Actually, it's Terry.
Terry, I apologize.
Oh, no problem. My problem with all of this, and I don't listen to you, I'll be honest. I'm just actually heading to the dentist because I have an issue. So I turned on the radio and you're on it. I have heard you before. But my problem really is with Sisolak is the fear that the way they drop these bombs with this is everybody relax. We have things in the works. Even if you don't have anything planned, make people comfortable, make them think you do even. You know what I mean?
Well, I know what you mean, Terry, but let me explain to you my opinion.
Fear-mongering. And you know what?
Terry.
Let me just finish. Because I feel like you are doing all of that as well.
Hold on a second. That's a very serious accusation. How am I fear-mongering? I'm telling people to be safe, to listen to our politicians. How is that fear-mongering? Listen, you started... No, but hold on a second. You started the show by attacking us, saying, well, I don't listen to you because I have a cavity.
Well, that's not attacking us. That's just saying she doesn't listen to us.
Listen, I don't fear... No, excuse me, Terry. I don't fear-monger, okay? This show, I want you to share your opinions. We can disagree. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not fear-mongering. I'm just defending the governor. This is a very serious situation. I would hope you agree with that. Closing. So,
understand that.
Okay. So what? What are you saying? I'm fear-mongering. What have I said that is fear-mongering? Please explain.
What I'm saying is a show that is just a bunch of people who don't know what they're talking about.
What have I said that I don't know what I'm talking? What have I said that's not factual?
You won't let me finish.
Well, because you're not being specific.
You won't let me finish. You keep cutting me off.
Okay, well, make your point. Go ahead.
Specific. Your callers, some of your uninformed callers are the problem.
Well, that's
the problem, and I understand that you want to hear everybody's voice. But why don't we come up with solutions? Why don't we have a program of solutions and how to help people?
Okay.
Instead of
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Listen. Okay. Fair enough. Hold on a second.
And you know what?
Hold on a second. Okay. No. Okay. Hold on. If you're just going to talk over me and we can't have a conversation, then I'm going to hang up on you. Okay. You said that we were fear. Now, if you said that some of your callers are uninformed or you disagree, I don't have a problem with that. You accused us of fear-mongering, so I'm going to ask you one more time, for the third time. What have we said specifically that is fear-mongering? Go.
Okay, I take it back. It's not you that's fear-mongering. It's the
Fair enough.
content of the call.
Fair enough.
She's saying that we're giving people a platform to fear.
And I say this.
Right, I got you.
I say this.
I understand you, Terry.
I mean this with all. And by the way, thank you for clarifying, Terry. I mean this with all due respect. I hope the dentist takes care of you. I really do. I hope you take care of that. Take care of that cavity, Terry. We care about you, and we do appreciate the phone call. And we hope that you'll give us more opportunities for you to listen and call in. You're welcome to call back anytime, Terry, and we do appreciate that. Listen, we are going to take a bunch of more phone calls in hour number 2. There's no doubt about that. But coming up next, in our next segment, we're going to be speaking with Nick Bogdanovich. He is from William Hill, just from the standpoint of business from a gambling perspective. He's going to give us that. There is literally almost nothing you can bet on, and now all these sports books are closed anyway. So is the sports app still open on your phone? For some of you compulsive gamblers out there, this could be fear-mongering, but you're really not going to have anywhere to go as far as gambling goes. Nick Bogdanovich is going to be talking to us next, and then keep your calls in place at 702-257-5396. Again, that number to call, 702-257-5396. We're going to get into the national response from the President of the United States coming up after. But Nick Bogdanovich from William Hill joining us next. You're listening to The Vegas Take.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Whether you enjoy classical, rock, or heavy metal, we all march to the beat of our own drummer or guitarist. That's why Views also offers you more ways to vape your way. It's available in 5 bold color options, 3 smooth tastes, and 3 nicotine levels. It's your vape, your way. Views, charge beyond. Underage sale prohibited.
If your retirement plan is on set it and forget it, it's time to take control. Tune in for Financial Safari with America's Wealth Coach and best-selling author, Coach Pete D'Arruda. For more than 25 years, Coach Pete has been helping people just like you plan for retirement. Join Coach Pete every week as he discusses topics like why your retirement plan should also be an income plan and how to make sure you're getting the most out of your 401k.
Financial Safari with Coach Pete, Saturday morning at 10 a.m. and Sunday afternoon at 2 on 101.5 FM, 720 a.m. KDON. Listen to the Texas Corners Bible Church.
Test, you got me?
11 p.m. and Sunday night at 10 p.m. on 101.5 FM, 720 a.m. KDON.
Check, you got me?
It's Ken Thompson, host of Sports X Radio, reminding you to catch me at my new time, 8 to 10.
Check.
Local Vegas sports coverage, plus the national scene as well. That's Sports X Radio on the new 101.5 FM, 720 AM, KDWN.
Eye on Washington with Marilee Joyce, taking Nevadans to Capitol Hill for the latest on the federal issues that matter most to you.
Eye on Washington, Saturday morning at 9:30 on 101.5 FM, 720 AM, KDON.
As Trump rises like a phoenix on the wings of acquittal, celebrate his soaring place in history with a brand new 2020 Trump Silver Exoneration Medal. That's right. Now you can own the official government.com newly minted Trump 1-ounce Silver Exoneration Medal, made in the USA. Hurry. These medals are limited and only available at a special price by calling 1-800-222-3871 now. Fellow Americans, these beautiful, stunning official medals will stand forever in solid silver as a reminder of your loyalty to the man who turned this country around, President Donald J. Trump. To secure your 2020 Trump Exoneration Medals in pure silver, call government now at 1-800-222-3871. Call now and we'll give you a free Trump 2020 Patriots Pack, including a Declaration of Independence commemorative and 5 Lincoln cent coins when you order. Call 1-800-222-3871 now to secure yours and get a Trump 2020 Patriots Pack valued at over $10 free with every order. That's 1-800-222-3871.
Your home for Sean Hannity. KDWN Las Vegas, KKLZ HD2 Las Vegas, a Beasley Media Group station.
Special report coronavirus update. President Trump is engaging more of the federal government to help in the time of crisis.
Today, FEMA is activated in every region. We are at level 1 being the highest level.
The administration is sending medical ships to help hospitals on the East and West Coast.
We'll be invoking the Defense Production Act just in case we need it. In other words, I think you all know what it is, and it can do a lot of good things if we need it, and we will have it all completed, signing it in just a little while, right after I'm finished with this.
New York has seen a virtual doubling of coronavirus cases in the last day to now more than 2,300. The French army has started evacuating critical coronavirus patients in that country. Canada is providing a wage subsidy for small business and pausing student loan payments amid the pandemic. I'm Mike Moss. More talk today, but still no vote on the stimulus package from Congress.
The $1 trillion bill being discussed includes help for the airlines and other large corporations, but it also includes $1,000 direct payments for individual Americans.
I won't call them. Don't worry, I got them.
It's not enough.
This is not a time for small thinking.
And Schumer says it won't last.
A single $1,000 check would help someone pay their landlord in March. But what happens after that?
Schumer adds if the federal government is going to provide direct payments,
they need to be bigger, more frequent, more targeted. Millionaires shouldn't get them.
Linda Kenyon, Washington.
The UN is estimating that fallout from the new coronavirus outbreak could cause nearly 25 million job losses and drain up to $3.5 trillion worth of income by the end of the year. On Wall Street, stock trading has been halted after a 7% decline on the markets, the Dow off 1660 at this hour. I'm Mike Moss.
Maybe you could relate to this.
It's time to check the roads.
From the Learner Road Traffic Studio.
This report sponsored by Upwork. When you need in-demand talent on demand. A crash with injury sustained reported on Buffalo at Cheyenne Avenue. Now in the clearing stage, but watch for slowing for another crash with injuries on Craig Road, westbound west of the 95. Earlier crashes still active, including Las Vegas Boulevard, south of Charleston, and an accident reported Sahara east of the 95. No delays to report. I-15 north and southbound between the Spaghetti Bowl and Southern Beltway. Upwork has the world's largest network of independent professionals like designers, developers, data scientists, you name it. When you need in-demand talent on demand, Upwork is how. I'm John Michaels from the KDON Traffic Center.
Get the rest you deserve with Helix Sleep. Helix makes personalized mattresses to fit your unique body.
Hey, Jason, you there?
Life. Go to helixsleep.com and get up to $200 off mattress orders.
I recently read a news story about Homey, and it really got me thinking about this new way to buy and sell homes. Homey combines tech with experienced local agents that don't charge percentage-based commissions. It's only a low, flat $2,500 fee to list your house. My friends at Homey are offering a special promo to our Vegas Take listeners. You'll get $250 off your listing fee when you sell your house. Just text JD to 88588. Text JD to 88588 for more information on homey.com.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Mark Levin, weekdays 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Now back to the Vegas Take on 101.5 FM, 720 a.m. KDON. The opinions of the hosts on KDWN are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of this station, its management, or Beasley Media Group. Right now, the day's biggest news stories from a Vegas perspective. This is the Vegas Take with Sharp and Shapiro.
All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take, Sharp and Shapiro, broadcasting live on KDWN from Brian Shapiro's kitchen, basically. Check us out on YouTube, the Vegas Take. Of course, the reason for that is many of these businesses are shut down, on lockdown, including Beasley Broadcasting. It's happening everywhere, starting at noon today. All non-essential businesses will be shut down. We're going to be speaking with Dina Titus in hour number 3. She's a congresswoman here from Nevada, and she's going to be answering some very difficult questions for us. Coming up in hour number 3, we're going to give you our opinion on Trump's response to this and the administration, Devin Nunes comments, Kamala Harris, Mitt Romney. We'll get to all this stuff coming up here in just a few minutes and get to your calls. Be patient with us. Wait on hold. Right now joining us on the line is Nick Bogdanovich. He's been on our show before. He's from William Hill. Of course, from a gambling perspective, Nick, there's really not going on in this city right now. What do you make of what's transpired here, not just in the last 24 hours, Nick, but in the last week from a sports gambling perspective?
You know, I think it just like everyone else in this world, just trying to figure it out. Obviously, we're in times we've never seen before. So, yeah, just basically trying to figure out what our little new world looks like for the next month or two.
So, Nick, I noticed at William Hill, you still have bets up there, futures bets, for example, who's going to win the NBA championship this year, and, of course, the NHL. You have all those bets up there, but I'm sure you would admit there certainly is a possibility that we might not see another NBA game this year. Have you guys thought that through?
Oh, sure. We're hoping this thing is shorter instead of longer, and they'll be able to play abbreviated season and get to the playoffs. Obviously, that's the best case scenario. Same with hockey and the NBA, and obviously Major League Baseball figures to be not a 162-game season. But if they get it cranked up, into May or start of June, that would be fantastic in my eyes.
So for people that are on the William Hill app, and if we're still sitting in this situation a month and a half from now, hypothetically speaking, and there are no sports here to bet on, are you guys going to put up some stuff, maybe outside the U.S., some more stuff than you normally would? Is that a possibility?
Yeah, we've gone to we're looking for any sporting event that's playing in the world. So we have booked Belarus soccer, Argentinian soccer, Turkish basketball, Japanese basketball. We're looking to darts and esports. So yeah, there's no question. We're going to have stuff up to bet. It's probably going to not be stuff that's on TV, and it's going to be in weird time zones. But we'll work around it. That UFC card that was on TV on ESPN last week was really, really popular, and the Mexican soccer locally is really, really popular. So those two events were really good, and we're just hoping a few more like that pop up. But yeah, we'll have as much stuff as humanly possible.
And I would imagine under those circumstances, you would actually do well from a handle perspective because the average sports handicapper or sports bettor isn't really familiar with those sports, and they're just kind of betting to bet. I would imagine that your handle would go up on those type of events, would they not?
Well, the UFC, it went way up. Every fight was on ESPN, and it was isolated, and it was the only game in town. So that card was fantastic. It was from Brazil, and it was a pretty good card. It had some really good matches all up and down the line. So, yeah, the handle on that one was outstanding. And the Mexican soccer, the handle's really good on that, too, just because it's a good league, and it's in the same time zone, so that always helps.
Well, Nick, I really do appreciate you spending some time and talking to us at such a weird time that we're in right now. Certainly, we hope that everything is back to normal with the NHL, the NBA, Major League Baseball, and everything else. But we do appreciate you taking some time to join us. Thank you so much.
No, always a pleasure doing your show.
Thank you, Nick.
Thanks a lot, Nick.
Appreciate your time. There you go. That's Nick Bogdanovich from William Hill joining us, talking to us a little bit about there's not a lot of things to bet on these days, but if you do have an app, there will be an opportunity to bet on some other stuff offshore.
Yeah, and you can bet offshore, but the chance of you, in my opinion, the chance of you winning these bets because you're not going to have a lot of knowledge on the things that you're betting probably isn't very high.
No question. We appreciate Nick taking the time to join us. I promised all of you that we would get back to your calls, and we will do so right now. We're talking about, obviously, these businesses that are having to close today in Las Vegas, all across the state of Nevada at noon. All the casinos, all the slot machines. Doesn't matter if you walk into a supermarket, although I can't imagine many people that are walking into a supermarket today are thinking about gambling, but you never know. All those slot machines are done. The bars, the restaurants, non-essentials businesses will be closing at noon today. The number to call is 702-257-5396. Again, that number, 257-5396. This show is about you. We want to hear from you, your thoughts, and are you scared? What do you think about the governor's decision last night? with these non-essential businesses taking your calls. Let's start with Dave. Dave, you're first up here on the Vegas Take. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, Dave?
Hey, guys. I'm out here, again, Trucker Dave. I'm delivering medical supplies out here. Hey, I'm not sure if anyone's even aware of it, but everything comes out of California, and what no one maybe, like us, they're all based out of big metro centers. Now, these probably have 200-300 guys working at night, picking orders for all the hospitals, and there's probably 3 major distributors all based out of California. What happens if these guys get ill? There's no workspace available where they're working in close contact, and
right.
And every day I call in, hey, how we doing? Who all's calling in sick? What's the percentage?
Well, I think people like you, that are handling these types of things that are so important should be tested, regardless of whether you have symptoms or not. But the problem is, and I know that the president, at least from what I understand, the president is trying to get more tests out there. But to me, that is the biggest issue and the biggest F up, if you know what I'm saying, since this whole thing started a couple months ago, is people are not able to get tested. That to me, that's the big issue here, and so much more important for what you do for a living, Dave.
Right. Well, the supply chain is so important. And that's just the medical supplies. Now, right now, and then some chains went to this just-in-time inventory, to where we bring them stuff and it's just like it goes right to the floors. Now, I don't know how much inventory these hospitals have on hand. I would think you're better off having a warehouse stocked with stuff, and then you keep replenishing that.
Now, Dave, let me give you a hypothetical. And I'm not trying to scare people here. Let's just hypothetically say that you have the coronavirus and you don't know, which, by the way, is very possible. You don't have to have symptoms to have it. You're touching all this stuff. You're dropping it off to all these people. Imagine what could happen if somebody like you, what you do for a living, and it wouldn't be your fault, has the coronavirus. We're talking about thousands of people that could be susceptible to getting it.
Right. Well, I've even called in, and I told my leadership team, we have a little handheld, phone that we do signatures on. And I just said, look, from now on, I said, this is for proof of delivery. They're not touching my phone, because and it saves them. The guy comes down from the 3rd floor of a hospital, and he comes down. He's been out on the floors. I don't know where he's been.
Right.
So that's for my safety. And me and my wife were talking. I was really sick about maybe a month and a half ago. I never call in sick, and never.
You could have had it. You could have had it. You absolutely could have had the virus. There's no question. And by the way, Dave, I appreciate the phone call. For every person like you, I've heard from dozens of people like Dave who say, you know what, 2 weeks ago, man, I was really sick. I was in my bed for a week.
Brian, I was out for a couple of days. Remember, I was diagnosed bronchitis. Yeah. For all I know, I had the virus. And here's the issue, I think, with all kind of the way this is all being reported. The conversation is that we're 2 or 3 weeks behind Italy. Well, first of all, Italy is the oldest population in the world, and this virus is going to affect the elderly worse than any other age group. Also, we have no idea how long this thing has been circulating in the United States. So how can we really say that the explosion is taking place right now? But then if you look at the flu numbers, the actual deaths for this flu season are pretty much equal from where they've been since 2010. So you could say, okay, well, the virus has been in the United States since November or December, and all these people are being misdiagnosed for flu or pneumonia. Well, if that's the case, then why are those numbers not at 50 or 60,000 or double what they were? Yeah. So all this is being kind of said to us, but there really isn't an understanding of where we actually are as far as the virus being transmitted in the United States, because we don't know the date that it came here and when it started circulating.
702-257-5396. Danny, you are next up on the Vegas Take. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Danny?
Uh-oh. We lost Danny. I want to...
I think we got Richard, too.
Richard's next? Richard, you're next up on the Vegas Take. What's up?
Hey, what's up, Richard?
Hey, yeah, I'm just coming back from Sam's Club. I went up there to see if they had any water, and I got there, and the line's probably at least a quarter mile long. They do have some of the supplies everybody wants, but there's lots of families in that line. I would like to get some supplies, but I figure those folks need it, so I just turned around and went back.
Well, that's nice of you. I think the problem is, quite frankly, not you, but a lot of people out there are very selfish. These idiots that are walking, and I'm going to call them idiots. If you're walking into a supermarket now and you're spending $200 on toilet paper, you are a moron.
Right, and that's terrible. But what's even worse is that you have no idea who has that virus in that line.
Yeah.
And how far away were you from each person in that line? Were you a foot away? Were you 2 feet feet away. I guarantee you weren't 6 feet away. So that basically just totally defeats the purpose of social distancing. You're gonna have viruses. The virus is going to spread in lines like that all over the country, and then the cases are going to keep going up. People are going to be shocked, and they're going to be angry because they're going to be at home doing nothing and wondering why the cases are exploding the way they are. So that needs to be taken care of as well, and that's not being addressed.
Appreciate the call, Danny. Thank you so much.
Good call, Danny.
And that number.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Danny. You got it. 257-5396. So we wanted to talk a lot about the president's response, right? There are some people that are, the diehard Trump supporters that are saying they give him an A+. Trump was asked the other day on a scale of 1 to 10. He gives himself a 10. Well, let me read you some of the comments that Donald Trump has said over the course of the last few months. They are unbelievable and they are indefensible. Let's go back to January 22nd. These are all comments that the president has made. Okay, keep in mind, he has some of the best people in the world by his side to get information. On January 22nd, he said, quote, "We have it totally under control. It's one person coming in from China. It's going to be just fine." February 2nd, and by the way, you want to talk about an asinine comment. February 2nd, "We pretty much shut it down coming in from China." He said that a little over a month ago. On February 24th, Donald Trump said, "The coronavirus is very much under control in the USA. Stock market starting to look very good to me." February 24th, he said that. This was a couple weeks ago. On the 25th, he said, quote, "The CDC and my administration are doing a great job of handling coronavirus. I think that's a problem that's going to go away. They have studied it. They know very much, in fact, we're very close to a vaccine." You want to talk about an idiotic thing to say. Professionals are saying it could take between a year and a half to have a vaccine. And just a few weeks ago, Donald Trump said, we're very close to a vaccine. What the hell is he talking about? Then we go to February 26th. This is what the president said, not a conspiracy theorist. On February 26th, Donald Trump said the 15 cases in the U.S. within a couple days is going to be down to close to 0. We're going very substantially down, not up. February 27th. "One day it's like a miracle. It will disappear." By the way, that's when he took an hour to hang out with Diamond and Silk. That's right. When this virus was already an epidemic, getting ready in this country, the president was hanging out with Diamond and Silk, and he said, one day it's like a miracle, it will disappear. And then you hear Diamond and Silk go in the background going, that's right, Mr. President, What a bunch of dopes. On February 28th, it's funny because it's ridiculous. This is the president of the United States. Don't you give me this crap, you right-wing conservative hope. This is a hoax by the Democrats, you nut jobs. I have his quotes right here. On February 28th, we're ordering a lot of supplies. We're ordering a lot of elements that, frankly, we wouldn't be ordering unless it was something like this. But we're ordering a lot of different elements of medical. March 2nd, we're already now in March. Okay, this is less than a few weeks ago. March 2nd, you take a solid flu vaccine, you don't think that could have an impact or much of an impact on corona? So obviously he has no idea what he's talking about. He thinks a flu vaccine will fix corona. Maybe he'll pray it away like Mike Pence. He also said a lot of things are happening. A lot of very exciting things are happening, and they're happening very rapidly. What is he talking about that's happening very rapidly? The fact that this disease or this virus is spreading? Is that what he's talking about? March 4th, the president said, if we have hundreds of thousands of people that get better just by, sitting around and even going to work, some of them go to work, but they get better. That is the president of the United States basically saying that if you don't feel good and you might have the coronavirus, you can go to work. That is exactly what the president said on March 4th.
Bit of a drop. Bomb was just dropped. Ford, GM, and FCA are shutting down all their plants due to coronavirus.
That's not a surprise. On March 6th, I think we're doing a really good job in this country at keeping it down, a tremendous job at keeping it down. What the hell is he talking about? I like this stuff. He said, I really get it. People are surprised that I understand it. Every one of these doctors said, how do you know so much about this? Maybe I have a natural ability. He said, maybe I should have done that instead of running for president. Yeah, that's what I want to see, Dr. Trump.
Obviously, Donald Trump, his entire tone about this situation changed as more information was available to him.
That's crap. That's a lame excuse.
No, that isn't crap. That's reality.
So a month ago, you think it was...
That's complete reality.
So you think it's reality?
We have no idea what this virus originated in China, correct? There's been reports that the first actual case was November 14th, I believe, 2019. There have been conversations that this has been around in China since October, that they knew about this for a month and a half before the first virus was reported, and they told nobody about it.
Yeah. Well, now he's blaming China, and he says that
the virus did originate in Wuhan.
Okay, well, let me read the quote. Earlier today in a press conference, Donald Trump said that China should have given the U.S. earlier notice about the coronavirus after claiming that the virus snuck up on us. That's what he said in a press conference. On March 8th, the president said, "We have perfectly coordinated and fine-tuned plan at the White House for our attack on the coronavirus." No, he didn't. On March 9th, he said this blindsided the world. No, it didn't. They were warned about this. They were warned about this 2 years ago. And guess what? He fired a lot of those people. Do you remember what I'm talking about? That's right. And then he didn't take responsibility for it. He didn't replace those positions. And he's saying less than a month ago that people can go to work even if they're not feeling well. The virus just goes away. The president of the United States said this.
Well, the virus does go away, Brian, if you are a low-risk group and you've had mild symptoms. You get over it in about 20 days on average. Now, if you have a compromised immune system, if you're immunosuppressed, then it takes longer, or it simply ends your life. So some of that was not totally incorrect. More information just came out. If you are blood type A, you are more susceptible to the coronavirus, and if you are blood type O, you are more resistant.
702-257-5396 is the number to call. Let's go to Rob. Rob, you are next up on the Vegas Take. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Rob?
Rob, are you there? Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, I'm here. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Rob.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
One thing I was thinking about, it's talking about bringing in the Corps to set up tents. Why don't they use the hotels that's going to be vacant?
I think they actually will eventually. I think they will eventually. I think that's partially why all these different hotels all over the country are being shut down, especially in Las Vegas, because the hospital system it's not really prepared for this. And if you look at like Sunrise Hospital, it's relatively close to the Strip. They could definitely set people up in the hotels.
Because I'm from Alabama, and down there you don't want to be in tents in the summer. The mosquitoes will take you off, and if this is carried by saliva, I'm sure it's carried by blood too. And mosquitoes can.
That's a good point. Listen, that's a good point. I mean, Rob, no one's really talked about that.
They actually had during the Spanish flu pandemic in 1918. They had a lot of their things. They did a lot of their medical work outside, and they found that it actually the sunlight and the vitamin D that it actually helped people get over that flu. So
appreciate that phone call.
It does. Second thing, and I work in an industrial setting here in the city, but people haven't thought about if the people that work in power plants or water treatment get it and are not able to do their jobs.
Right. That's a good point, too.
And that matters here as well with Lake Mead being a reservoir for about 20 million people in 3 states.
Appreciate the call, Rob. Thank you.
Good call, Rob.
257-5396. Let's go to Jason. Jason, you are next up on the Vegas Take. What's up?
Hey, Jason. Great name.
Hey, so Brian, I just want to tell you, the lady that called a little bit ago, she was kind of warning you about what you're doing right now. You're a little bit fear-mongering with all.
What did I say that was fear-mongering? What did I say that was fear-mongering?
That's your tone.
My tone is not fear-mongering. Tell me specifically what I said that's fear-mongering.
Listen, you're bringing up all this old stuff, and
it's not old stuff. No, it's not old stuff. No, it's not. It's not old stuff.
Right. Hey, President Trump is changing. He's changing his tone. He's listening to the experts. Anyway, let me give you a little bit of.
No. You're not going to get. No. Hold on a second. You're not. No, you hang on. You just said I'm fear-mongering. What did I say that was fear-mongering?
Brian, I wouldn't say you're fear-mongering, but you are turning this relatively political, and it doesn't need to be political.
Well, we do a political talk show, and I'm going to talk about Donald Trump. You're damn right I'm going to do that.
Donald Trump's response to it is pretty much expect. Brian, nothing has happened like this in 100 years.
Well, what have I said that's fear-mongering? You're not going to answer my question. You're going to accuse me of fear-mongering.
Hang on a second.
Well, you just gave misinformation.
Last year, right around New Year's, my 5-year-old son got sick. And I'm telling you right now that I'm listening to all these symptoms and all this kind of stuff, he had a 102 fever for almost 2 weeks. He had bronchial infections. He had trouble breathing. He went into urgent care 3 times for breathing treatment. All right. We didn't know what it was. They tested him 3 times for strep and influenza B. He didn't have either one of those. All right. This illness went through everybody in our family. It went to my daughter, went to my wife, went to me. Of course, our symptoms were a lot less. We did not get impacted by it. But here's the deal. He was in daycare, all right? He got it from daycare. And in his daycare, we're talking maybe out of 26 kids that he was in his group, only 5 or 6 really got sick. And after 2 weeks, he was fine. He was on Motrin. He was on Tylenol.
So he got
Back and
through it.
forth until the fever came down.
So he got through it.
I'm telling you right now, it's the flu.
Okay, Jason, let me just stop you there.
Don't overblow the stuff.
Okay,
Don't
first of all,
overblow
let
the
me
stuff.
let me
You will
just
be fine,
Jason, if you have other health complications, okay,
Yeah.
and if you are elderly, there's a good chance you could lose your life. So this is a serious situation. That's number one. All right, hold on.
And actually, Brian, it's not really
Okay.
that good of a chance. Again, in the United States, you've got so right now you say it's so hard to get treated for it to get tested, right? Well, you've got 70 now. It's up to 7,700 cases, 117 deaths. That's 1.5% of people who have either been a celebrity, an athlete, or have had severe symptoms enough to actually get tested are actually dying.
Okay. That's number one. This is not the flu. Okay, so anyone who wants to downplay it and say, "Oh, it's just the flu," it's not the flu. That's number one. There's no vaccine for it. That's number one. Number two, Jason, here's what I think about you. You don't like the fact that I am criticizing Donald Trump for the idiotic comments he's made over the last couple months in regards to this virus. The other day was the first time that he actually got serious about this virus. He has been downplaying it for 2 months. So you want to attack me and you want to say I'm fear-mongering because I'm calling out the President of the United States for making idiotic comments. It was a month ago, 1 month ago, that the President said some people, they should just go to work. They're already saying they go to work and they feel better. That was the President of the United States that said that. So don't you tell me that I'm fear-mongering. And let me tell you something else. I would rather over-caution people than to do what Donald Trump has done. Hold on, let me finish. Than do what Donald Trump has said and done over the course of the last 2 months. We were not ready for this virus. There were not enough tests out there. And for that, the American people are suffering and people are dying.
So you're blaming Donald Trump then for the fact that there are now 7,700 cases in the United States. There's 117 deaths, even though 90% of them are those who are already very, very sick. You're blaming that on Donald Trump?
Okay, well, I can't answer that question in 5 seconds, so we'll take a quick break. More of your calls at 257-5396 when we come right back. This is the Vegas Take.
Maybe you can relate to this. A lot of people think they're stuck with their health plan. It costs too much, or for whatever reason, they just don't like it. The great news, you are not stuck with it. There is a choice. It's called MediShare, and you could save so much. The typical savings for a family is $500 a month. Major difference maker. This is the affordable alternative to health insurance. And just to give you a little more info about MediShare, it's a Christian healthcare sharing ministry. It's worked beautifully for 26 years, has more than 400,000 members, and they've shared over $3 billion of each other's medical bills. So yes, they can help share your needs too. So you're not stuck. There's an excellent alternative, whether you're single or married, you got a family. MediShare is super flexible. You can choose an option that works for you and start saving lots of money. You can join anytime. They're great to talk to. No pressure. Call 844-91-BIBLE. That's 844-91-BIBLE. 844-91-BIBLE.
There are good numbers.
Oh, triple sevens! Jackpot!
There are bad numbers.
Are we there yet?
Just 822 miles to go.
And if your business doesn't have the right HR solution, it's easy to see people as numbers. Thankfully, there's Insperity. With Insperity, your employees can access competitive benefits and you can streamline your payroll process. So instead of feeling like a number, your employees will always be at their best. Learn more at Insperity.com. Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
Attention all men. Nearly 50% of guys over 45 suffer from erectile dysfunction. If Viagra, Cialis, or the cheap knockoff drugs aren't working for you, the doctors at Peak Health can correct your ED issue. No drugs, no needles, and no side effects. Call the doctors at Peak Health today at 702-625-4334. That's 702-625-4334. 702-625-4334. Get the spontaneity back in your love life. Be romantic again, naturally. Say goodbye to pills and those nasty side effects for good. Call the doctors at Peak Health today so we can bring the joy back to your love life. Call 702-625-4334. That's 702-625-4334. 702-625-4334. Or find us online at peakhealthlife.com. peakhealthlife.com.
Coronavirus update. Answering the call for more and faster coronavirus testing, President Trump says...
Today I can announce further steps to expand testing capacity. We're working with several groups to determine if the self-swab, a much easier process than the current process that's not very nice to do, I can tell you, because I did it.
Trump is also enacting the Defense Production Act to get manufacturers to provide for medical product shortages, and he's sending 2 hospital ships, one to the East Coast, the other to the West Coast, to help reduce the shortage of beds and care. Federal government is also placing orders for thousands of critically needed ventilators. The U.S. now has 6,400 cases, more than 2,300 in New York, where the number of cases has doubled in the last day. Congress continues to work on a package that might help reduce the crushing economic blow caused by the virus. I'm Mike Moss.
Maybe you can relate to this. A lot of people think they're stuck with their health plan. It costs too much or...
It's time to check the roads.
From the Lerner Monroe Traffic Studio.
This report sponsored by Upwork. When you need in-demand talent on demand. An accident reported on Craig Road, westbound west of the 95. Watch for slowing in the area. Earlier crash reported Las Vegas Boulevard at Wyoming. It looks like that's now in the clearing stage. Meanwhile, taking a look at our freeways, there are no delays to report. I-15 north and southbound between the Spaghetti Bowl and Southern Beltway. Upwork has the world's largest network of independent professionals like designers, developers, data scientists, you name it. When you need in-demand talent on demand, Upwork is how. I'm John Michaels from the KDON Traffic Center.
This is John Greenhut, and if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, Power Swabs is the answer. In 5 minutes, you'll see 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. Even better, there's no messy strips or trays that you'll have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes, and you're done. To try Power Swabs, call 1-800-679-0969. Your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free. 1-800-679-0969. That's 1-800-679-0969.
Attention all men. Nearly 50% of guys over 45 suffer from erectile dysfunction. If Viagra, Cialis, or the cheap knockoff drugs aren't working for you, the doctors at Peak Health can correct your ED issue. No drugs, no needles, and no side effects. Call the doctors at Peak Health today at 702-625-4334. That's 702-625-4334. 702-625-4334. Get the spontaneity back in your love life. Be romantic again, naturally. Say goodbye to pills and those nasty side effects for good. Call the doctors at Peak Health today so we can bring the joy back to your love life. Call 702-625-4334. That's 702-625-4334. 702-625-4334. Or find us online at peakhealthlife.com. peakhealthlife.com.
Mark Levin, weekdays 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Now back to the Vegas Take on 101.5 FM, 720 AM. KDON.
All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take, Sharp and Shapiro, going at it live. Not from the KDWN studios, though, from my own place of living. It's strange, really weird times we're living in right now. Everybody in quarantine, including the Vegas Take. We're going to be taking your phone calls and getting back to your calls in a second at 702-257-5396. It's amazing, though. Nobody, once you criticize the president for some of his idiotic statements and downplaying this virus, all of a sudden you're fear-mongering. When all I've said on this show, and I've been consistent, we should listen to the governor. We should listen to the president now, since I think hopefully he finally gets it, and we should take their advice. But that's fear-mongering. But you have no problem with the president of the United States just several weeks ago saying that if you don't feel good, you can go to work because a lot of people are starting to feel better and go to work. That is what the president said several weeks ago. And by the way, it's not just the president. There are other irresponsible idiots out there, like Congressman Devin Nunes. This is what he said on Fox News over the weekend, completely downplaying the virus. Have a listen to this.
And there's a lot of concerns with the economy here because people are scared to go out. But I will just say, one of the things you can do if you're healthy, you and your family, it's a great time to just go out, go to a local restaurant. Yeah. Likely you can get in easily. Let's not hurt the working people in this country that are relying on wages and tips to keep their small business going.
We're very sympathetic.
Don't run to the.
Understood.
Yeah, just don't run to the grocery store and buy $4,000 of food.
Right, they're cleaning off the
Go
shelves.
to your local pub.
I cannot believe the irresponsible statements that some of these Congress people are making, including Devin Nunes. Let me repeat what he just said. This is at a time, by the way, where the governor of the state of Nevada said that all these businesses are closing down at noon today, all of them that are non-essential. And the other day, Devin Nunes, the brown noser himself, goes on national television and says, now, he didn't just say, go ahead, go to your restaurant. He said, now's a great time. Did you hear what he just said? Now is a great time to go to your restaurants and bars. We need to call these clowns and these idiots out. Devin Nunes is a moron. He shouldn't be representing anybody. That is what I'm talking about when I say downplaying this issue and this problem. Even Donald Trump was asked about that the other day, about Nunes' comments, and Trump said he didn't agree with it because now he finally understands how serious this is. This is an issue. And for these irresponsible people that are in politics, get the hell out. Democrat or Republican, for Devin Nunes to be on a national show and say now is a great time to go to restaurants. Now is a great time to go to bars. Maybe he's an alcoholic. I don't know. Based on the looks at what Devin Nunes looks like, he's probably going out to eat a lot. But you know what? Now's not the time. This is not only not a great time, it's not the time, period, to be going to restaurants. 702-257-5396. Let's go to Al. Al, you're next up on the Vegas Take. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Al?
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Good.
I hope you'll bear with me for a minute. I do have a point to make, but before I get started, I just would like to know, do you actually bring girls back to your apartment?
Do I bring girls back to my? If I don't have the coronavirus, I do.
There's toilet paper on the table.
That's paper towels. Well, that's actually paper towels that I actually just bought at the supermarket. Yeah. So
dishes. I see a soda can.
So how old are you, sir? How old are you?
What does that have to do with your slide?
Are you single or what does your apartment look like?
This might be the best call we've had in
what
6 months.
What does your place look like, sir? Yeah, you can keep laughing. Well, you know what? It's a pathetic person like you that would call into a radio show and complain about a dish or a soda can at a time when people are dying and when we're in unprecedented times. So I'm not surprised that
people are dying every single day.
I'm not surprised some idiot like you.
These are unprecedented
I'm not
times.
surprised some idiot like you would call into a show and talk about my sex life. No, get off my show. Get off. Goodbye.
Al,
Goodbye.
I really appreciate your comedic relief. Thank you for the call. It was probably the best we've had in the better part of the year.
Okay, well, it's really sad that you think that way. 257-5396 is the number to call. Let's go to Bob. Bob, you're next up on the Vegas Take. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Bob?
Hey, what's up, guys? How are you doing?
Good. What's on your mind?
So I have just a statement, really. I'd just like to know, everybody in this town that's going out and buying all this stuff, what happened to our Vegas Strong Auto that, we adapted in 2017? That just seems to go right out the window nowadays, right?
You're talking about the Vegas Strong and all that sort of stuff, yeah.
I'm talking about the Vegas Strong, and looking out for one another. We're a small little valley, couple million people.
Right.
Now, I am still working. I'm fortunate enough that I'm still working every day. But,
good for you.
My job is going to require me to.
Well, Bob, I agree with you that I think people are.
I can't get to the store to get what I need until after hours or the weekend.
I agree. I got frustrated, Bob. Bob, I got frustrated, and I agree with you, by the way. There are some people that are overreacting. I went to the supermarket yesterday, not because of the coronavirus, because I just ran out of toilet paper. That's all. I just wanted to buy a couple rolls. I go there with my producer. They were completely out of toilet paper, and I saw people with their carriages with literally $100 worth of toilet paper. I look at them, I say, what a bunch of morons. I have to wipe my butt with toilet paper. I know that's a horrible thing to think of on a Wednesday morning, but that's what I'm having to do right now because of these idiots that are stocking up on toilet paper. While I understand that people are scared, it's ridiculous, Bob.
Yeah, well, there's no need. I mean, I have enough supply for about a week and a half, maybe two at best.
Yeah.
Because I bought one extra package that I normally buy.
Right.
I mean, I've got a.
If you can't get it, I'm more concerned now with food.
I got to think to myself, if you're going to spend $100 on toilet, you must have 9 kids. You must spend $3,000 a week on groceries. You must live in a house with 7 bathrooms. I just don't understand how you could use that. I mean, they have to be selling this on some type of underground market. I mean, you guys have talked about my affinity to use the restroom, during the show, several times over the last couple of months, and I'm 6'3", 220 pounds. I use maybe 3 rolls every 2 weeks. So it to me it just makes zero sense whatsoever unless you're just you're price gouging on the open market, in which case you should do time.
Appreciate the call. Thank you. 702-257.
Good call.
702-257-5396. Let's go to Ron. Ron, you're next up on the Vegas Take.
Hey, what's up, Ron?
Hey, how's it going, JD? Hey, I just wanted to let you know, Brian. First of all, how are you guys?
I'm doing okay.
I'm wiping my ass with toilet paper. I'm not doing great, Ron. How are you?
Paper towel.
Paper towels.
A toilet. Yeah.
Wish it was toilet paper.
With
Right.
Paper towels. That's what I meant. Next, it's going to be sandpaper. Go ahead.
Brian knows me pretty well. We're kind of opposites, but like I said, he's taken me to schooling, and I've learned some things from him by researching. But to start the show, Brian, remember you said that you weren't going to be apolitical today. Remember, it was all about.
Never said I wasn't going to be apolitical. I never said that on this show. I have no idea what you're talking about. I started the show talking about the local response and the governor, and then I said I would give you my opinions on the national response. I never said I was going to be apolitical.
You did say that. Yes, you did. But you also said, hey, let's not be political today.
I didn't say that. I did not say let's not be political today, and I will always criticize the president if I think it's warranted. I would never say that on this show. I think it's a time, yes, certainly, where people need to come together, but I've been saying that about the president since he became in office. I said, let's bring people together. I said that when Obama was in office. So this isn't about this. Hold on a second. This isn't about not being political or being apolitical. The president has said some very irresponsible things over the course of the last 2 months, even the last week. And he finally changed his tone the other day.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that because you pointed him out, and I was listening to you, and I agree with you on that, okay? I just wanted to compliment both you guys. And, JD, I think it's a great idea about what you said, that you should make an appointment online to do shopping. And then even further, I think that we should make that the grocery stores themselves should say, hey, this is what we have a limit on, 2 per customer.
Oh, absolutely.
We have a limit on.
And I would even go further and say that there should be some type of company formed, and all they do, it's low risk group people that do shopping for high risk group individuals. Yeah. I think that should take place instead of having them have to go to the grocery store and subject themselves to being infected with the virus from someone who doesn't know they have it.
Ron, good to hear from you. I appreciate the
great
phone
call,
call.
Ron.
I hope I wasn't too tough on you today. 702-257-5396 is the number to call. As I mentioned, this show is just more about you than about us today. We want to hear from you, the locals here in Las Vegas, your thoughts on Sisolak, your thoughts on the Trump response. We'll get to all that stuff. We want to hear from you, your opinions on that. Let's go to Mike. Mike, you're next up on the Vegas Take. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Mike?
Hey, you know why there's been a run on toilet paper?
There's been a what? I'm sorry?
Because the Democrats are full of crap.
So you think so what do you think the Democrats have done wrong in the last 2 months in regards to this virus?
Well, they showed up with some candidates.
Okay, but that has but Mike.
Of all 350 million people, and they got it.
Okay, Mike, that has nothing to do with the response to the coronavirus. So what is your
Sisolak speech last night?
Okay, let's try to have an intellectual conversation if you're capable of it, Mike. I'd love to have a debate with you. What have the Democrats done wrong in the last 2 months when it comes to the coronavirus?
They haven't passed any reasonable legislation. When they did, they loaded the bill up. Trump asked for $2.9 billion, and they bloated it up for $6 billion with all kinds of.
Yeah. Do you know why? Do you know why they loaded it up? Do you know exactly why they did that?
No, tell me, please. I'm on the edge of my seat.
So you don't know why, but yet you're still criticizing the Democrats, and you want to talk about the people that are on the debate stage because you have nothing else to talk about when it comes to the Democrats and this coronavirus. Is that correct, sir?
They're do nothing.
Okay, so what about Donald Trump's response? Do you think it's an A+? Would you give him a 10 out of 10? I'm going to guess you're probably going to say yes, right?
Oh, what would you say?
I would say no. I would give him an F, and here's why. I just named you the things he said.
He's the president.
Excuse me. Let me finish. Can I finish?
Brian,
Can I answer his question?
Donald Trump's response also trickles down into what happened with Governor Steve Sisolak, and if you support Steve Sisolak's move, then you support what Donald Trump's response is.
First of all, let me respond to what you just said. Let me just respond to what you just said. Governor Sisolak didn't say we should go to work a month ago because you'll just feel better. That's what Donald Trump said. Donald Trump 6 weeks ago, excuse me, I know you're not going to like it. I know you're not going to like what I have to say, but these are facts. Okay, it's not my fault that you're on the right and you're biased, okay? Excuse me, If Barack Obama was president and we didn't have the test available, you'd be going after you'd be going after Barack Obama, and you'd be blaming the Democrats. Why don't you admit that?
Now you are making it political, and it's unnecessary. He just made a joke. He made a good joke. Again, it's comedic relief. No reason to take it over the top.
So when Donald Trump goes on record a month ago as saying, go ahead and go to work, people are feeling better when they go to work, did you think that was a good response?
That's a good response. You still should go to
That's
work.
a good. You think people should go to work today? Do you have an IQ of 20? You think anybody should just go to work even if they're not feeling well? And you want to blame Democrats? Get off the show. Bye-bye, you nitwit. I'm not going to have a nitwit lecture me, you dummy. Did you hear what this idiot just said? He just said, taking a page a month ago from the Donald Trump playbook, this idiot just said on our radio show, he just said that he thinks it's okay for everybody to go to work today. This is the dummy who's trying to lecture us.
Again, he thinks that it's an overreaction.
So are you okay with that? You think everybody should just go to work today?
I don't think everyone should go to work today,
Thank
Brian.
God.
Again, I've been saying this for a couple weeks. I think that the high risk should be isolated from the low risk, and so they can prevent it. Because the worry here, Brian, is that the healthcare system gets overrun, and that's only going to happen so that if you have say the hospitals are just full with high risk groups who have this disease, and they are requiring all this attention and ventilators and respirators, and then someone who has a broken arm or someone who is murdered or whatever, something along those lines, where the healthcares they're just totally stuck and they have to only focus on these particular cases. And so, but that's only going to happen if high risk groups are being infected in droves, and high risk groups are being infected with droves, and then they have. But if you look at, there was a woman, a 103-year-old woman in China who recovered from this virus entirely. This is a lot of people have been recovering from this virus. There's a lot more recovering.
That's not the point.
But the worry here is that you're overrunning the healthcare system with people who have this virus, who are high risk groups, who need all that medical attention.
Well, let me be very clear.
That's the entire worry.
Let me be very clear. The last person who just called in is the type of person that would say if you have AIDS, you should have unprotected sex with as many people as possible. That's the kind of guy who just called in. He's a dope. 702-257-5396. There's logic. We can disagree, and then there are dopes. The last guy who called in was a dope. 702-257-5396. Let's go to Lewis. Lewis, you're next on the Vegas Take. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, Lewis?
Hey, guys. Look, the one thing that everyone is forgetting, besides babies and old people, homeless people are very, very, very at risk.
Of course they are.
Alcoholics, they're drug addicts. They've got all sorts of issues.
Right.
Now, with regards to the response, okay. I mean, I know that you're a little biased and you focus on what he says, and you're entitled to that.
I'm using his words. I'm just using his words.
Okay, that's fine. Let me finish, and you can focus on work if you want to, and you're entitled.
And action.
But you know what? His actions have been spot on from the travel ban with China that he got.
Then why do we not have the test kits? Why didn't we have test kits in place 2 months ago if his actions have been spot on?
Well, Brian, where are the test kits coming from? How many are required? What do we need? Do we need 30 million of them? That's not going to take place.
I'm asking him because he just said he's been spot on.
The one thing that you are not seeing because your hate for this man is if you have not opened your eyes to his MAGA philosophy, everything
his MAGA philosophy.
China has no incentive.
You were doing very well on the call until you said MAGA philosophy. By the way,
our supplies and everything come from China, so it is all about America first.
Tell me what the MAGA philosophy is. Let's go there for a second. What's the MAGA philosophy? I can't wait to hear this.
It sounds a bit cultish.
What's that? Save your white sheets? Tell me, what's the MAGA philosophy?
Okay, you're going to be childish. You're not seeing the big.
You said Okay, I've got an Obama philosophy. Here's my Obama philosophy. No, let's get serious. Let's be serious. Okay, my eyes are very open, sir. I have 20/20 vision. My eyes are very good.
He's actually wearing glasses.
Here's the Obama vision. I'll give you an Obama vision, not a MAGA vision. Respect others. Don't go after women based on looks. Don't go after POWs. And guess what? When we don't have test kits at hand, take responsibility for something. He gives himself a 10 out of 10 when it comes to everything.
We don't have 20,000 people that died from swine flu.
Which is completely different than the coronavirus, and it's a horrible analogy. Well, here's my MAGA philosophy. I'm going to hang up on you. That's my MAGA philosophy. Shut people down. 702-257-5396 is the number to call.
And here's my father's philosophy. He sent me a text that said, your robe is falling open.
Good. Good. I'll give people a cheap throw. Who's our next caller?
Ketos.
Keto.
God, that is just so awful.
Ketos, thank you for calling in. What's on your mind?
Hey, what's up, man? Hey,
What's up, Ketos?
I had a big debate on something. First off, credit to all this craziness that you're taking. Everybody dogging on the dude, whoever it is, the one who's getting all the most hatred for it. More power to you.
It's okay. I'm used to it.
But yeah, I can live like that. Fuck that. Anyways, I'm a construction worker here in Las Vegas, and I'm actually stationed right now on the convention center tower, or the build over there.
Yes, sir.
And just kind of find odd that why aren't they shutting it down? I mean, if they're shutting down all the schools, if they're shutting down everything like they did yesterday, saying that
Right.
it's not essential. I mean, what is the point of sending all the construction workers back to work to these big towers? Being the Raider Stadium being one of them, and the World Resort being the other.
Well, it's money.
Yeah, I think you're right. But here's the thing. I think a lot of these, and thank you for that question. It's a valid question.
Yeah, very good question.
I think there's a lot of bailouts going to happen here. A lot of these casinos are insured. A lot of these businesses are insured. It's the local businesses that are really suffering here. But there's so much money to be made in construction. I do agree with you. I think that's a big
and the
part
local
of it.
businesses are suffering, but there's disaster relief fund. I mean, the president just released $800 billion in small business loans. So there's a lot of ways you can, if you are being affected as a small business, you can apply to get some of the. Now it may take a little bit, but you can apply to get some of that money back. And then also, if you're not paying your rent, which because you can't for whatever reason, you're not going to be evicted as well.
I'll give Trump credit for something. We've just learned that all HUD foreclosures and evictions are being suspended. That is obviously that's an obvious thing to do, but I give him credit for doing that. 702-257-5396. Why don't we go to Nikki? Nikki, you're next up on the Vegas Take. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Nikki?
Did we lose Nikki? Nick? Nick? Go ahead. You're on the air.
Gone. Let's go to.
Okay, let's go
David.
to Davis. Davis, you're next up on the Vegas Take. What's up, David?
Hey, what's up, David?
Oh, hey guys. So at this point, there's two issues. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's two issues. One is what is the actual death rate, and two, this is a brand new virus with no immunity. So let's take the second one. So you got a brand new virus with no immunity. So if the plan is we're going to hide everybody and try to keep the general healthy population from getting immunity, because they figured out vaccines work because they found out that people that had smallpox and lived didn't get it again.
Exactly.
So now you've got the entire population of the
Well,
Earth, but of the United States, that doesn't have immunity to this
And
new
so
virus.
and so the exact same thing will happen again.
Hide them from the virus.
Right.
We're going to hide them from the virus. We're going to deal with the deaths that come from the ones that are susceptible to that. And then what are you going to do next?
Well,
time?
David, you bring up a good point. I just want to add something real quickly.
All hidden from the virus.
Well,
and then the second point is, what's the actual death rate? Because they keep saying the death rate's 10 times the flu,
Which is 0.1%.
Because JD said that there's an estimate on the number of people that have the flu. They don't have the actual test for 60 million people that have the flu.
Right.
They estimate that 60 million people have the flu and 60,000 die. So how many actually, and how many have died?
Well, the thing is here, I actually believe that the actual fatality rate for the virus itself, just based on the fact that those who are sick enough to be in the ER are dying at a 1.5% clip. But then the conversation is also they're getting sick because people have mild symptoms that they think are a cold or no symptoms at all. So by that logic, let's say that there's 50,000 people in the United States that have had this virus, that don't even know that they have it or that they have mild symptoms. By that logic, you're looking at about a 0.2 or even a 0.1% fatality rate, nothing near the 1.5%. And also the herd immunity mentality, which is what you were talking about. That's what Boris Johnson in the UK actually had integrated, and then they had an epidemiologist come on and say, no, that would kill 250,000 people. The issue is viruses kill people. And right now, the people that the virus is killing are those who are already sick. In fact, it's making them more sick. And how do we know, and to one of the callers, 2 or 3 callers ago, how do we know that there's not homeless people getting this virus right now who are already sick, who are dying from it, and they're not telling us? How do we know that, that in Seattle, some of those deaths that took place in Washington State were not a couple of homeless people who probably didn't have a great chance of living in the first place, or maybe had a sentence on their life of 6 to 12 months that are dying, but they're saying that they're not telling us exactly what's going on. Well, so I have a real issue with the way that all this is being reported, because we don't exactly know how fatal this virus is, because the numbers, and again, we don't know when it came to the United States either. So the circulation pattern, again, it's all kind of a question. Dr. Anthony Fauci says one thing, it's going to get worse before it gets better, but maybe it's been worse for 3 or 4 months, and again, we just do not know, because it's a novel virus,
clearly,
and we're not, and some aren't immune to it.
Clearly, it's going to get worse before it gets better. It seems like every day we're learning 2,000 more people are contracting the virus, and there's a lot of we don't know.
Hold on. Yesterday, 2,000 contracted the virus. Before that, it was going up, but yesterday was the worst day.
We don't have enough test kits. We don't know if you have the virus. We don't know if I have the virus. There's a lot of things we don't know unless we're tested.
Right, but if I have the virus and if I kick it in 20 days, then I'm immune to it. I'm not going to get, and it's not going to hit me again, which means I won't have the chance to spread it to somebody else. So why would we not want some people to get the virus, become immune to it, so that if it does happen again, that they're not just going to give it to someone else?
Well, we definitely don't want people to intentionally get the virus. I think that's a ridiculous opinion.
But that's how immunity for virus is acquired.
That's not what we want. That's why people are in quarantine. Older people are susceptible. By the way, a reminder, coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to be speaking with Dina Titus, Congresswoman here in Nevada. Plenty of questions to get to her. Why don't we go to Ed? Ed, you're next up on the Vegas Take. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Ed?
Did we lose Ed? 702-257-5396 is the number to call. Again, if you want to be a part of the program, 702-257-5396. As I said, a reminder, Dina Titus, Congresswoman for Nevada, will be joining us coming up here at the top of the hour. David, you are next up on the Vegas Take. What's going on?
Hey, I just wanted to say that I think what Trump was saying early on goes along with the numbers. But then he was told, hey, you need to stop saying these things because you're going to get blamed for stuff.
Right.
Now they pump everything up and say 1 million people are going to die, and when only 5,000 people die, they're going to say we saved 995,000 people. Look at how great we are. And Sisolak did the same thing. Everybody's trying to come out. They know that the amount of people that are going to die is not what they're saying. They're inflating the numbers so then they can all be the hero in the end. Again, if you look at the flu numbers, it's the same thing. This is, if you take the people that are not being tested, there's way more people that have this.
Agree. And David, I agree with everything you said, by the way. Let me just add this. Donald Trump said this a little over a month ago. This is our president. He said the 15 cases in the U.S. within a couple of days is going to be down to 0. We're going very substantially down, not up. Why? He doesn't take ownership or responsibility for anything he says. I
believe he takes ownership. I believe what he's doing now is playing a game.
Probably.
He's playing a game with
yeah.
the Democrats. If you look at Europe, they say we're 4 weeks behind the EU. The EU does not have tens of thousands of deaths. The EU does not have hundreds of thousands of cases.
Right.
So even if we're 4 weeks behind them,
right.
How do they say that we're going to have millions of cases?
Well, they don't know. That's the thing, and I do appreciate the phone call. You made a lot of good points there. There's a lot of unknowns here, ladies and gentlemen, and even if Sisolak did this for political purposes, which, by the way, I don't agree with that. I don't think he did. I would rather be more for caution than to underscore this whole situation, which is my opinion, what the president and his administration have done the last 2 months. Congresswoman Dina Titus, right here in Nevada, representing Nevada. She's coming up next. Plenty of questions to get to her. So we will get to Dina Titus coming up next, and we will continue the conversation on the other side. You're listening to the Vegas Take on the all-new 101.5 FM, 720 AM, KDAWN.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Whether you enjoy classical, rock, or heavy metal, we all march to the beat of our own drummer or guitarist. That's why Views also offers you more ways to vape your way. It's available in 5 bold color options, 3 smooth tastes, and 3 nicotine levels. It's your vape, your way. Views, charge beyond. Underage sale prohibited.
This is John Greenhut. And if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, Power Swabs is the answer. In 5 minutes, you'll see 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. Even better, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes, and you're done. To try Power Swabs, call 1-800-679-0969. Your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free. 1-800-679-0969. That's 1-800-679-0969.
Your home for Sean Hannity. KDWN Las Vegas. KKLZ HD2 Las Vegas. A Beasley Media Group station.
My dad. Coronavirus response coordinator, Dr. Deborah Birx.
We cannot have these large gatherings that continue to occur throughout the country for people who are off work to then be socializing in large groups and spreading the virus.
And Dr. Birx says Americans should brace for a sharp rise in the coronavirus cases over the next few days because of the increase in testing. The president is taking more action.
We will be invoking the Defense Production Act.
The move will allow the government to convert manufacturing facilities to overcome the shortage of critically needed medical equipment. The government is posting hospital ships on each coast to try to help hospitals handle the anticipated surge of cases. Italy will surpass China in the number of coronavirus deaths in just one more day. Italy saw a record number of new cases and infections in the last 24 hours. I'm Mike Moss. President Trump says the coronavirus has changed everything for him and the nation.
I look at it, I view it as in a sense, a wartime president. I mean, that's what we're fighting. I mean, it's a very tough situation. You have to do things. You have to close parts of an economy that 6 weeks ago were the best they've ever been. We had the best economy we've ever had. And then one day you have to close it down in order to defeat this enemy.
The death toll from the outbreak of coronavirus in Italy surged in the last 24 hours by 475 to nearly 3,000, an increase of 19%. Brewers and distillers across Europe are using their production facilities to make hand sanitizer to help fight the coronavirus outbreak. Wall Street continues to slump. The market is down more than 9% right now. The Dow is down 1,968 points. I'm Mike Moss.
I've had Blue Fernandez on parrots and...
It's time to check the roads.
From the Lerner and Rowe Traffic Studio.
This report sponsored by Upwork. When you need in-demand talent on demand. A crash reported on Sunset Road near the 215. Injury sustained. Watch for slowing in the area and police with the scene. Also a crash on Tropicana at Decatur. That may be in the clearing stage, but again, watch for slowing in the area. No delays to report on the Southern Beltway, east side, west side inbound. Upwork has the world's largest network of independent professionals like designers, developers, data scientists, you name it. When you need in-demand talent on demand, Upwork is how. I'm John Michaels from the KDON Traffic Center.
Get the rest you deserve with Helix Sleep. Helix makes personalized mattresses to fit your unique body type and sleep preferences and give you the best sleep of your life. Go to helixsleep.com and get up to $200 off mattress orders.
This is John Greenhut. And if your teeth are stained from coffee, tea, or smoking, Power Swabs is the answer. In 5 minutes, you'll see 2 shades whiter teeth, and in 7 days, 6 shades. Even better, there's no messy strips or trays that you have to leave in your mouth for an hour. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes, and you're done. To try Power Swabs, call 1-800-679-0969. Your bright white smile will have your friends talking about how great you look. Try it risk-free. 1-800-679-0969. That's 1-800-679-0969.
Mark Levin, weekdays 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Now back to the Vegas Take on 101.5 FM, 720 a.m. KDON. The opinions of the hosts on KDWN are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of this station, its management, or Beasley Media Group. Right now, the day's biggest news stories. What? From a Vegas perspective. This is the Vegas Take with Sharp and Shapiro.
All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take, Sharp and Shapiro, and I will say at a time where a lot of people are scared, a lot of people don't know what to do, a lot of people want to hear their voices heard, and we want that. We are going to be broadcasting live. We are going to be here. We're going to be here tomorrow. We're going to be here Friday. Business as usual. And we might actually be, in my kitchen broadcasting, but luckily we will be able to be broadcasting live. And joining us right now, we're always very lucky and thankful to have her on the show. That is Congresswoman for Nevada, Dina Titus. Congresswoman, thank you so much for joining us at such a very difficult time. How are you?
Well, I'm okay. Thank you for trying to help us put out the word of what people should be doing during this time.
Absolutely. Let me start by asking you the first basic question. How's your health, the health of your family, your friends? Is everybody doing okay?
Well, thank you for asking that. My mother turned 90 in February,
Oh, wow.
and I'm certainly concerned about her, but she's kind of hunkered down. We're following the directions of the public health officers, washing our hands, keeping social distancing. Both of my offices in Washington and here in City Hall are mostly doing teleworking, but all the phone lines are open. We're answering people's questions. We're trying to deal with agencies, working with both the state and federal government. So if you need anything, you can still call our office to get help.
Good to know.
We're trying to follow the instructions that they've been giving everybody.
Sure. Good to know, Congresswoman. So let me ask you this. I mean, just from a human standpoint perspective, even as a politician, just as a human being, these are surreal times we're living in. I mean, I got chills listening to Steve Sisolak speak last night. What were your thoughts on his press conference, and what is going through your mind, just as a human being that lives here? I mean, what went through your mind at that press conference last night when he spoke to the people here?
Well, I have a lot of respect for Steve Sisolak, and I thought that he both reassured the public because he has compassion, but also instructed the public. It was a very difficult decision to close down the schools initially, but he knew that was the right thing to do and set up feeding stations for children who have to get low cost or no cost meals at school because he.
Uh-oh, Congresswoman, did we lose you there for a second? Did we lose Congresswoman Dina Titus? I think we might have lost her. Well,
all Nevadans, and you got to respect that.
Congresswoman, I think we lost about the last 20 seconds of your statement there, so I hate to have to ask you to repeat yourself there, but the latter end of what you just said there, if you could repeat that, that'd be great. I think your phone cut out there for a second.
Oh, okay. Am I back on now?
Yeah, you're good now.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. Well, I just said that it was a very difficult decision for him to make. First, to close down the schools, and then to close down so many businesses because the economy of the state is at risk. And he didn't take that lightly, but he is concerned about the health and safety of our residents as well as any people who might have been here as visitors.
No question. So I want to ask you some questions on a national scale. I've been open and honest, and I've been criticizing Donald Trump because I personally believe that over the course of the last few months, not the last few days, but the last few months, I think he and his administration have been downplaying this virus. The test kits were not available. We were not ready as a country. I'm not just talking about the state of Nevada. I mean, you've heard the statements he's made over the course of the last few months saying it was one person from China that came in here. It was a month ago he said you can go to work. People are feeling better when they go to work. Isn't it the responsibility of the president and his administration to be responsible with their words? And what are your thoughts of the way this administration has handled this crisis?
I'm here, but I can't hear you.
Oh, go ahead, Dina. Go ahead, Dina. Can you hear me now?
Oh, okay. I hear you now.
My question was your response, your opinion of the response of the president and his administration when it comes to this crisis.
Well, I agree with you. I think he was irresponsible. He didn't take it seriously enough early on. He said it'd go away quickly, and it was like the flu. Doctors, public health officials warned him that wasn't true, and so now I think his mentality has shifted. But certainly we are behind the curve in terms of getting the supplies that we need and getting information out to the public. But it's not about pointing fingers. Now we got to move on to deal with this. And he's finally signed that disaster declaration that we asked for here in Nevada so our businesses will qualify for those small loans. Got the Army Corps of Engineers ready to build emergency hospitals or medical facilities. And he said he's going to sign the bill that's coming out of Congress that sets up more unemployment, sick leave, food banks, food stamps, those kind of things. that should be passed by the Senate today, and he said he'd sign it.
You mentioned the small business loan program for all the businesses, especially Nevada businesses that have definitely had some damages due to this. How would someone who is a small business owner that's listening to our show go about applying for something like that? And what do you think the time frame is to actually receive that relief?
Well, we want it to be sooner rather than later, and that's why we were pushing for that disaster declaration. I had a conference call with the chamber, with the Latin chamber, and with the Asian chamber talking about this in conjunction with a representative from the Small Business Administration. You can go online to their website. You can go online to my website where we've got the information posted, how you get help applying for that right now.
If you're just joining us, we're speaking with Dina Titus, Congresswoman here, of course, representing Nevada. Did you ever think in your lifetime, Congresswoman, that you would see the Las Vegas Strip completely shut down?
No, I just couldn't imagine it. And, you know, we've passed 2 bills in Congress. The first one was aimed more at health care, trying to get enough vaccines, enough testing, enough money for vaccines. The second one was unemployment and sick leave. And the third bill will be more like long-term economic recovery, and you will see a lot of things put in that bill to help, I don't like the term bailout, but to help businesses across the board. And we want to be sure that travel and tourism, those dollars play a large part in the economy of the country, not just the state, that they're at the table and are able to qualify for some of those benefits, because they might be like tax credits, things like that. We want all our workers to be taken care of first, but we do want them to have a job to go back to.
Congresswoman, I want to get your opinion on your thoughts. You know, Mitt Romney and Yang and many of these others, some that are in office, some that maybe are not in office, are talking about this $1,000 per person per month. A lot of people were disappointed with Kamala Harris. A lot of people think Joe Biden will be picking Kamala Harris as his vice president. Kamala Harris came out and she said $500 per month for a family. A lot of people were disappointed with that. They think families need more than that. What are your thoughts on Kamala Harris, Mitt Romney, and those that are talking about this, even the president, talking about this $1,000 a month per person?
Well, I don't know who Joe Biden's going to pick for his vice president, but I've said that I would support the $1,000. It doesn't get at the cause of the problem, but people need some relief, and if that'll help them to pay the rent or help them buy groceries while they're getting on unemployment, or while they're looking for another job, or until we open up all our businesses here, I would support that. We'll see where that goes as part of the third recovery package.
Do you think that the 30-day non-essential, essential business closing, the statement made by Governor Sisolak last night, will last more than 30 days, or do you think that it'll be around the 30-day mark?
Well, I certainly hope it doesn't last longer. They're going to continue to evaluate the situation. The key is to flatten out that curve so we don't spike for a number of cases and number of deaths. If you can flatten it out so that people maybe get contracted gradually and we have enough hospital beds and equipment and all that, that will be a great way to kind of deal with the problem. That's what the healthcare folks say. So I think that's the intent of that 30 days, and we'll just have to see. Maybe it'll go quicker. Maybe it'll take longer. We just don't know.
Congresswoman, this will be my last question for you. You're speaking now to a pretty large audience. We have a lot of listeners here. It's a pretty big station here at KDWN, FM and AM. So you're speaking to the locals here. I want you to talk to these locals that many of them who have called into our show the first 90 minutes are very scared. A lot of these people are very worried. They're worried for their loved ones, not necessarily for themselves. A lot of people are worried about how they're going to get their next paycheck. So as a congresswoman who represents the state of Nevada, I want you to speak now to those people. Speak to those people who are really worried and concerned. What would you say to them?
Well, I would say that if we come together, if we work together, if we follow good, sound advice, that we will come through this. Las Vegas has proven in the past. Look at the shooting that we had just several years ago. We are a resilient community, and we can make it, but it's going to take all of us working at the state, federal, local level, helping your neighbor, following public health rules, and don't panic. Just be smart, but don't panic, and together we'll get through it.
I really appreciate those words. Congresswoman, always a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you so much. Love to have you on again soon down the road, and hopefully we'll be speaking at a better time for the country and certainly for Las Vegas and Nevada. Thank you so much, Congresswoman.
Well, thank you, and let's stay in touch as this evolves.
Love to. Thank you,
Thanks a lot,
Congresswoman.
Congresswoman.
Always appreciate her time. That is Dina Titus, Congresswoman for Nevada. I think that was well spoken, and I think that was well said. JD, notice how I said well spoken and well said. Well, coming up next, you might have heard her. You know, she's an actress. She's done some movies, some shows. Her name is Vanessa Hudgens. Okay. She, like many idiots,
she's the opposite of well-spoken.
the opposite of Dina Titus, not a very intelligent woman. You're not going to believe.
Will not be running for Congress anytime soon.
You're not going to believe what she put up on her Instagram page, and it's causing an outroar. In fact, it was trending on social media. We are going to play that for you coming up next, and the response to that, and we'll take more of your phone calls. That number, 702-257-5396. Take a quick break. Be back right after this. You're listening to The Vegas Take right here on the all-new 101.5 FM, 720 AM, KDAWN.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Whether you enjoy classical, rock, or heavy metal, we all march to the beat of our own drummer or guitarist. That's why Views also offers you more ways to vape your way. It's available in 5 bold color options, 3 smooth tastes, and 3 nicotine levels. It's your vape, your way. Views, charge beyond.
Hey guys, you got me okay?
No, we would have to ask.
Yo, you guys can hear me?
In the fight?
Hey, Brian, Jason,
Yeah,
you got
I'm
me?
here. Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, no, real quick, but we got a 3-minute break here. Do you want to come back after 3, or do you want to wait till after the news?
What do you mean?
Positively.
What do you mean the news? The news is at 11:30, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant. So, yes, we got 3 minutes, pal. 3.
Yeah, no problem. Okay.
The world.
You got it, man.
We're going to play the Vanessa Hudgens
Seats
audio.
of
I'll
hope
cue
this
you
season.
coming up next, okay?
Perfect. I got you all ready.
Thanks, Sean.
You got it, man.
Remember, we have 2 bites from Vanessa.
Radio.
Yeah, I've got the first one I have is the Instagram. The other one I have is the apology.
Correct.
So,
Yep,
let me
in
know
that
which
order.
one.
Yep.
And then
You got it. So
Then we'll
apology.
break at 11:30.
You got it. I
That's
got
when you
guys.
play your news. Yep.
Cool. Thank you. We are a minute and a half out.
Thank you, Sean.
Thanks, guys.
E.com. Homey is new and different and can save buyers and sellers thousands of dollars. Homey provides experienced local agents with the tech they need to save you time and money. For my friends selling a home, you just pay a low flat rate of $2,500 once it sells, regardless of the price of your home, and be able to take advantage of the tech Homey provides. Plus, get this, my friends at Homey are really stepping up, and they're offering a special promo to KDWN Vegas Take listeners. You'll get $250 off your listing fee when you sell your house. Just text JD to 88588. That's $250 off your listing fee when you sell your house. Text JD to 88588 for more information. Homey.com. Make sure you get the money that you deserve when you sell your house.
Whoa, long time no see. It's me, the Rock t-shirt in the back of your closet. Dude, remember? You crowd surfed in me, man. But you haven't worn me in like forever. I get it, you're retired, but I still got some rock left in me. So take me to Goodwill, where I can really make a difference.
Your donations to Goodwill create jobs, training programs, and education assistance for people in your community. To find your nearest donation center, go to goodwill.org. Donate stuff. Create jobs. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Need help deciding the best Medicare plan for you or your loved one? Contact the Medicare store and make an appointment with a licensed agent to help you with your Medicare choice by calling 702-514-4111. The Medicare store is a statewide firm with local licensed agents right here in Southern Nevada who work alongside you to help make your Medicare insurance process fast, easy, and understandable at no cost to you. Meet licensed agents in Southern Nevada, or they'll even come to your home to determine the best plan for you. Call 702-514-4111 or visit themedicarestore.com.
Mark Levin, weekdays 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Now back to the Vegas Take on 101.5 FM, 720 a.m. KDAWN.
All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take, Sharp and Shapiro. We are live. It is Wednesday. We are broadcasting live from my apartment, actually, believe it or not, and going out of the airwaves on KDWN. We're not going anywhere. We'll be back out live tomorrow and Friday to finish up the week. I will say this, these things happen, I guess, when you're broadcasting live on YouTube and live on the air. JD was walking out of the bathroom. As you know, my co-host, he likes to go number 2 a lot during the show. He did that from my own toilet. And then as he's walking out, we have these YouTube cameras that are set up. His pants are down, and he's zipping up his fly in his pants in the shot. In the shot.
With the congresswoman on the line.
Yeah, with the congresswoman on the line.
I'll tell you what, Brian. I have my morning constitutional.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna go away. It's not gonna change.
Did you wipe with tissue? I only have tissue in there.
I did actually use Kleenex. Yeah, I use Kleenex.
I'm gonna put sandpaper in there for you.
I would really appreciate if you didn't do that. But no, yeah, it's not going to change my habits just because I'm in a new venue. We're
All
fine.
right, fine. Well, Stein, you're going to have to change your habits. No pleasuring yourself in my apartment, okay? By the way, the number to call, 702-257-5396 is the number to call. Speaking of dopes, Vanessa Hudgens, if you don't know who she is, she's an actress, not a very good one. To me, she's probably just as smart as Paris Hilton. They're both dopes. She went on our Instagram page. By the way, she's not the only person that thinks this way. There's a lot of millennials that are thinking the same way Vanessa Hudgens thinks. Listen to the audio and video that she posted on her Instagram page yesterday. It is unbelievably, it's pure stupidity. Have a listen to this.
Yeah, Till July sounds like a bunch of bullshit. I'm sorry. But, like, it's a virus. I get it. Like, I respect it. But at the same time, like, even if everybody gets it, like, yeah, people are gonna die. It's just terrible, but, like, inevitable? I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this right now.
Yeah, people are gonna die, but I guess it's inevitable. You dumb idiot. What a dope.
Now,
How do you possibly...
Keep in mind, this woman has posed naked multiple times. She does.
What does that have to do with it?
I'm saying she does things.
So because if you pose naked,
I'm saying,
gives you the right to talk like that?
She does things like this to grab attention to herself. So
You think that's why she did it?
I'm not. Yeah, absolutely. I'm
So
not surprised that she would say something like that.
But it's disgusting. Can we agree it's disgusting to if that's the case? I don't even know if she's smart enough to do that.
People are going to die, and this kind of goes back to the.
So you're defending what she said?
No, but they are going to die. Are they not going to die?
But she was downplaying the issue, and she was basically saying, "Let me go back to work. People are going to die. It's inevitable." That's what she's saying.
Go into bars, go into clubs, go into nightclubs under these circumstances. Obviously, is unnecessary.
Let's be
But Brian, and we had this conversation before we had Dina Titus on. If I get the virus, and I go through the process. I have 20 days. I have mild symptoms, and I recover from the virus, and I am therefore immune from the virus, which means that I can't.
First of all, that's not true.
Which means that I can't give it to somebody.
First of all, let me be very clear.
How is that not true?
Let me be very clear.
How is that not true?
Okay, let me answer.
If my body,
I can't answer your question if you don't let me answer it.
If my body builds antibodies up to the virus to the point where it removes it from my system, I cannot be infected again.
I'm glad you brought that up. Accounting to the specialists, the health experts, unlike us, what they are saying, including those in the Trump administration, is that it is not impossible to get the virus again. What they are saying is that just because you get the virus once does not mean that you're immune to it. That is what the professionals are saying.
So
you can't say that.
So right now, there's been one case in Japan where a woman, I believe she was 41, she had the virus 3 months ago, and she tested positive again a couple weeks ago. That's one out of the 208,000 cases in the world. So is it possible that 0.001% of the population will get the virus again? But it's very, very unlikely.
Well, here's the problem with what you're saying, and I have a big problem with it. There's a lot of people out there that have not been tested before. It is also possible to get the virus, and maybe you don't have a lot of symptoms, and then a month later get the virus again. We don't know. There's a lot of unanswered questions. But going back to Vanessa Hudgens, who said, guys, it's inevitable. People are going to die. Why can't I just go to work? Why can't I just act and put on makeup? That's what she said because she's a dope. And now she puts out another video yesterday with a half-hearted apology saying that people just took me out of context. Have a listen to this. This is Vanessa Hudgens and her half-hearted apology.
Hey guys, so yesterday I did an Instagram live and I realized today that some of my comments are being taken out of context. It's a crazy time. It's a crazy time. And I am at home in lockdown and that's what I hope you guys are doing too. in full quarantine
Ah!
and staying safe and sane. I don't take the situation lightly.
Oh,
By
no.
any means. I am home.
Well, based on that, it sounds like her publicist got into her ear.
Guys, I was taken out of context. Guys.
Oh my God. Let me tell you something, man. I'm not a violent person, and I don't condone violence. But when you watch that video, what does that make you think inside your head? I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is just shut up. Just shut up. You're a dope. Do other millennials, and first of all, she sounds like a 12-year-old. Guys, she sounds like Alicia Silverstone in, what was that movie back in the day?
That was called Clueless.
Clueless.
It's in my top 5.
Because she is clueless. She sounds like Alicia Silverstone. Like, guys, like, whatever. Oh, my goodness gracious. How can this woman is a complete dope. And the fact that she goes, on her page and says things like that and then has a half-hearted, how do we take you out of context? You just said people are going to die. It's inevitable. And you're making the case that you just want to go back to work, you selfish moron.
If she even has any work to go back to.
Oh, my God. What a dope. What a dope. By the way, you know what was trending on Twitter yesterday? She's 31. Do you know why that was trending? Because she's not 10 years old. She's not 15 years old. She's not 20 years old. Vanessa Hudgens is 31 years old. She's in her 30s. In her 30s. And she says things like that. It'd be one thing if a 12-year-old girl talked like that. I'd say, well, she's young. She doesn't know any better. This woman, and she is a woman, not a teeny bopper, even though she sounds like one, she's 31 years old. She happens to be attractive, and she happens to have a very low IQ. She's a dope. And when people do stupid things like this, and I'll tell you, what she said is very dangerous, and I'll tell you why. And some of you might not know who she is, but there are plenty of young kids out there that look up to her. And when she goes out there and she goes on her Instagram page, which has millions of followers, and she says, guys, people are going to die. It's inevitable. Let's just go back to work. That is dangerous for people because there are a lot of young, dumb millennials that will listen to her like some listen to the president, like some adults do. That is a problem. And these dopes that go on social media, will you stay the hell off of social media and stop putting out misinformation out there? We know that you're selfish, and we know that you're a nitwit. You just have proven that to the world. Stay away. Stay away. You want to do makeup all day and put on makeup and talk about your wonderful Disney career, you go ahead and do that. I don't care. I won't be watching any of those videos. Stop talking about social issues and stop talking about issues that people actually do care about, which is not your career. Stop it.
And actually, Brian, she is going to have, and there's going to be a lot of opportunities, especially if this lasts a long time, for actors and actresses and those who are producing, movies and digital or just content, because people are going to be at home just digesting, whether it's radio, TV, Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, and any new digital content is going to have so many more viewers than it ever has before. So actors and actresses like her are going to actually have a lot of work. It's just going to be interesting to see if they're actually allowed to, to produce content.
I'm going to try to take some more phone calls on the other side of the break. Let's try to squeeze one in right now at 257-5396. Let's go to Jay. Jay, you're up next on the Vegas Take. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Jay?
Thank you. Good morning, Brian and JD. So Congresswoman Titus just ended by saying, we have to work together, and everybody would agree with that. And here's where I see a major problem for Congress is that Adam Schiff, when he made his closing argument in the impeachment trial for the removal of Trump, in a nutshell, what he said is this president cannot be trusted to do the right thing. And within weeks, we saw how those words came true, that Trump was not doing the right thing. And then, and my point is that, and he did it again today, he started his address by saying the Chinese virus.
Right.
There's no point in calling it the Chinese virus. It's his. That's a Trump reaction. If this pandemic in the United States proliferates badly, we're going to need China's medical supplies. That's pretty much concluded by all the authorities. But the problem for Congress is, I think both sides of the aisle agree with Adam Schiff that he cannot be trusted to do the right thing, and yet they have to try to work together with the administration.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. Listen, it's a very, very difficult spot that you're putting a lot of people in. I agree with you. Trust me, if you listen to the show, I don't think the president can be trusted. I'll tell you one thing that I'm finally happy about. It took him long enough, but the other day he finally took a more serious tone. They've been downplaying this virus for a very, very long time. And now, finally, somebody got in his ear and said, Mr. President, this is an epidemic. And what does the president say? He says, oh, I knew this was an epidemic before this was an epidemic. Yeah, sure you did. That's why you told people to go to work. That's why you told people to be 15 cases down to 0. And that's why you told people that everything would be perfect and it would be a miracle and this virus would just go away. He said that. He said that a month ago. And now all of a sudden, now when he has to take this seriously, now when the president is forced to take this seriously,
minute out.
that is when the president says, oh, I knew this was a pandemic before it was a pandemic. Listen, we all know that the president's full of crap. We all know that, okay? But yes, we do have to all work together now. It's not about, oh, you're making it political. I'm glad that the president finally is taking it seriously. It's because he was forced to. But yes, it's a difficult situation that all Americans are in right now. Whether you support the president or not, we have to trust people. You have to trust people now. You have to trust our doctors. You have to trust our administration. You have to trust our politicians, whether that's Dina Titus, whether that's President Trump. The problem is that President Trump has a track record, and that is where he's downplayed this virus for the last couple months until the last couple days. We're going to take more of your phone calls on the other side of the break. We also have to talk a little bit about Joe Biden. He won 3 states yesterday. We'll get into that and much, much more. If you want to give us a call, 702-257-5396. Again, that number, 702-257-5396. We'll take your calls on the other side of the break. You're listening to The Vegas Take on 101.5 FM, 720 AM, KDAWN.
Coronavirus update.
We will see the number of people diagnosed dramatically increase over the next 4 to 5 days.
Coronavirus response coordinator Dr. Deborah Birx tries to prepare Americans for a sharp increase in coronavirus cases in the next days because of the increased number of tests that are being conducted. President Trump.
My message is to all Americans, but to those Americans who are going through a lot. We love them, we're with them, and we will not let them down.
Trump has enacted the Defense Authorization Act to be able to get manufacturers to help produce the medical supplies that are badly needed. Treasury Department says it wants to dedicate $500 billion to start issuing direct payments to Americans by early next month as the centerpiece of a $1 trillion plan to stabilize the economy. The number of deaths in Italy is now rivaling that of the region of China where the virus outbreak began. The Dow down 10%. I'm Mike Moss.
It's time to check the roads.
From the Letterman Road Traffic Studio.
This report sponsored by Upwork. When you need in-demand talent on demand. A crash reported on Sunset Road near the 215. Injury sustained. Watch for slowing in the area and police with the scene. Also a crash on Tropicana at Decatur. That may be in the clearing stage, but again, watch for slowing in the area. No delays to report on the Southern Beltway, east side, west side inbound. Upwork has the world's largest network of independent professionals like designers, developers, data scientists, you name it. When you need in-demand talent on demand, Upwork is how. I'm John Michaels from the KDAWN Traffic Center.
This is Harry Jacobs from Credit Restoration of Nevada, inviting you to join me for the Credit Show, Saturday mornings between 9 and 10, here on the new 101.5 FM and 720 AM.
I've had bluefin Amazon parrots and cockatiels and finches and cats and a little Lhasa Apso. I'm also a part-time dog trainer, so I will always endorse Dinovite. DINOVITE.com. Why wait until your dog is shedding like a monster? Save your dog from the agony, the misery of being stinky and having hot spots and shedding and making sure that they have the proper nutrition. The omega-3 fatty acids, flaxseed, zinc.
Hey guys, 30 out, 30 seconds.
That are cooked out of regular dog food. Get them started early. I mean, your dogs will love you for it. My dogs do puppy zoomies around the house.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
I get my Dinovite at DINO.
15 out.
Okay.
Our managing partner of Westpac Wealth Partners interviews some of the most successful business owners for insight into what makes both them and their business run. Tune in every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. on 101.5 FM, 720 AM, KDAWN, or podcasts on iTunes.
Mark Levin, weekdays 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Now back to the Vegas Take on 101.5 FM, 720 AM, KDAWN.
All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take, Sharp and Shapiro. We are broadcasting live. This is we want to hear your voices out there. We are going to be live for the remainder of the week, and we're not going anywhere. So we're going to be covering this virus. We're going to be covering the latest breaking news. We're going to have special guests on tomorrow and to give you the latest on everything. And, of course, we want to hear from you at 702-257-5396. And we do have a few phone lines that are open. This is your chance to share your opinions with us, your thoughts on what has taken place, not just in Las Vegas, not just in the state of Nevada, but across the country. Let's go to Logan. Edward, I apologize. Edward, you are first up on the Vegas Take. Thanks for calling in. What's on your mind, Edward? Edward, are you there?
Nope, let's go to Logan.
Let's go to Logan. Logan, you are next up on the Vegas Take. 702-257-5396. Logan, what's on your mind? Did we lose Logan? Again, that number to call, 257-5396. And if you're calling from far and away lands, that number 702-257-5396 is the number to call. Let's go to Steven. Steven, you're next up on the Vegas Take. Are you there?
Yes, sir. I am here.
Steven, what's on your mind?
Hey, what's up, Steven?
Oh, not much. I've been listening to your show for like past hour or so. I just wanted to talk to you, but basically, what's going on here is the concern over everything in the coronavirus is it's accumulating because everyone's stressed and freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
But we have no sense of camaraderie or partnership, humanity. We're all attacking each other because it's survival. So, I mean, I understand you have your views, they have their views, but we're all fighting. There's no cooperation. And, I mean, I have a family. I've got 3 kids. I live with family who has a child. So we have to go get what we can and fight for what we can get.
Well, I agree with
you. We always leave something for someone
I
else.
understand. Listen, make no mistake about it. I don't care what your political views are. I don't care if you're a Republican, a Democrat, wherever you are. I don't care what you look like. I want everyone to be safe. I want everybody to be healthy. I want everybody to be taken care of. But when you say attack, listen, if somebody says something that is not factually accurate, or if somebody calls in and says that I'm fear-mongering, then I am going to call them out on it. I think that is very fair to do that. If you notice, I've disagreed with a lot of people that have called in. I haven't called them all names. I haven't attacked every single one of them for doing that. Yes, there are a few people that have called in that have said things about our show, said things about me that are not factually accurate. In fact, there have been a few people that have called in that have tried to make light of this situation. I'm not going to let people get away with that. Listen, we want to hear your voices. We want to hear all of you out there, but we also want to have serious discussion, and we want to know your thoughts and your opinions. Doesn't mean we have to agree on everything, but we want to be responsible with the things we say. 702-257-5396 is the number to call. Let's go to Michelle. Michelle, you're next up on the Vegas Take. What's going on?
Hey, guys, I just want to say that I appreciate
you. I
Brian.
appreciate
You're
that.
a handsome man.
I appreciate that. I'm wearing my robe just for you.
I was hoping it would fall open just a little bit more.
Yeah, trust me, nobody here in my apartment wants that to happen, Michelle.
Yeah,
but
I did not expect that to come out of your mouth, Michelle.
Michelle,
very surprising.
I appreciate that. Listen, we are here for people like you, the locals that live here in Las Vegas. We want to hear from you. So, Michelle, what do you make about what's taking place?
Well, my personal experience is I came down with the Wu flu. It's day 12. I believe I got it at Whole Foods from the open buffet area. I used their utensils that are kind of open to germs there. That's the only thing that went into my mouth that was not from my own home. And I just kind of connected the dots, and I said, I think that's where I got it. The first 5 days were very painful with the illness. The second 5 days, I started to feel better, but I was still weak. And now a couple of more days, I'm finally feeling strong, but the little nagging cough is still kind of lingering.
Did you go into the hospital?
No, I did not.
So it is not out of the realm, sorry to interrupt you, but it is not out of the realm of possibility, Michelle, to say that maybe you could have had the coronavirus and you could still have it. That's fair to say, right?
100% accurate. I believe, I know for sure I had the flu. Which strain? Was it the coronavirus? I kind of believe I did because it was.
Well, Michelle, listen, this is important, Michelle, and I appreciate you sharing that story with us, and I appreciate your kind words. Take care of yourself, quarantine yourself. Don't get anyone else infected. I'm sure I'm not the first person to tell you this. You sound like a smart lady. Be responsible. Take care of yourself. And we're glad you are feeling better. Stay away from those food buffets. 702-257-5396.
Good call, Michelle.
257-5396. Let's go to Brian. Brian, you are next up on the Vegas Take. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Brian?
What's up, man? Hey, I just want to know
if you guys remember back in February, a Harvard professor, a captain in the Chinese army, and a guy at the airport were all arrested. The professor was arrested for espionage. The captain in the military was posing as she was here on a work visa, doing research at Boston College on biological material. And then the guy arrested at the airport was arrested for trying to smuggle vials out of the country, and all this stuff was going to Wuhan. And I was wondering, have you guys heard about that?
I'll be honest with you. I have not. I'm not going to lie to you. But at the same time,
I haven't heard about it either.
At the same time, listen, there's a lot of people with certain theories. My question to you would be, what source are you getting that information from?
These were arrest warrants, and it was it was the United States Judicial Department. I'll share it on your Facebook page.
All right. Well, listen. We appreciate you. We appreciate that.
Very good call.
We appreciate that. The problem is, we don't know whether that's verified or not. There's a lot of conspiracy theories going around, and I
will tell you this. There is an article written by a guy named Declan Butler in November 12th of 2015 that specifically states how there was a concern about risky research done on bats by the Chinese government. And you can go to Google and you can type in Declan Butler bats, and the first thing that pops up will be that article. And if you read that article and you look at how the Chinese government basically told American journalists from respected outlets to basically leave the country, it would not be, and just considering what's going on with everything, it would not be totally impossible to believe that there could be a possible man-made biological warfare element to what's going on.
But I am not going to entertain that without any real evidence to back it up, especially by our CAA and by our listen. If something like that did happen, I trust that our government's going to find that out. And then those people who did this are going to have to pay for it. And I posted something on my Twitter page yesterday. I said, do you think there's a chance that this could be China's gift to America after maybe Donald Trump's tariffs? Or maybe getting back in America. I think it's a fair question to ask, but I'm not going to go into specifics and say, well, this probably happened or that probably. We just don't know. Let's get back to our phone calls. 702-257-5396 is the number to call. Let's go to Johnny. Johnny, you're next up. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, Johnny?
Did we lose Johnny?
Hello, Johnny.
Oh, I'm sorry, Brian. I'm sorry. I apologize. I believe Brian's next, correct? Go ahead, Brian.
You're good. Brian's good. Brian's good.
Okay, Brian, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Is this Johnny? I don't know who we have next on the line.
No, Brian, hook up. Let's go to Steven.
Okay, Steven. Steven's next up on the Vegas Take. What's going on, Steven?
Hey, what's up, Steven?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Doing well.
Comments. A friend of mine who does medical research said, what can be dangerous about this is the way it mutates. It tends to be more resilient.
Right.
And he said to keep yourself healthy, eat good, and keep your distance, but also take some zinc because it has something to do with the lymphocytes in your body, and it helps the T cells to increase the amount of T cells. So, obviously being healthy and trying to keep yourself isolated will help. Can I make one last comment, guys?
Yeah, of course.
Quick?
Of course, yep.
Purell hand sanitizer, to my best of my knowledge and belief, is the most popular. Look at the ingredients in the microscopic print on the side. Guess what the main ingredient is? Water. What's a great place for bacteria to grow? Water. A tiny bit of alcohol, water, and fragrance. It isn't worth 2 cents.
Yeah,
Make your own. Take a cup of alcohol and a teaspoon of liquid hand soap and mix it. If you can't find alcohol, use white vinegar. Worst comes to worst, take a cup of water and put a little bleach in it. But it's better than the junk they're selling to the public.
And that's actually decent information. That there's a reason why rubbing alcohol is going for $35 a bottle at a lot of stations and on the internet. But yeah, you should be using hand sanitizer that is at least 60% alcohol based.
So let me ask you a question. Why do you think there's so many people out there that are going crazy and buying all this hand sanitizer and spending $200-$300 at a time with the toilet paper? What would you say to them?
They don't do their research and just uninformed. Just like a lot of people buy a lot of things and it's misrepresented, it's not a good product. But if you look at the ingredients the way I did, remember, Brian, you're a cerebral person. You guys both are. It's listed by the amount of ingredients by weight. The first ingredient on Purell hand sanitizer is water, which is also a wonderful place for bacteria to breed. And I'm assuming if you look at the weight of the contents, that the alcohol that's put in is a very small amount, and they're doing it obviously for a reason, to rip you off.
Sure, no question. Well, listen, I'm glad you shared that with our listeners. Thank you so much, and I hope some people will take your advice. We do appreciate the phone
thanks
call.
for the call, Steve.
Yep, 702-257-5396. Let's go to Brian. Brian, you're next up on the Vegas Take. What's up?
Hey, what's up, Brian?
Hello?
Yes, Brian, you're on with us. Go ahead.
Hey, I was calling in regards to what a previous caller had mentioned, the professor that was arrested. If you go to the DOJ's website, doj.gov, and search Harvard professor, it'll pull up the professor that was arrested along with 2 students that were actually Chinese military.
So why are we not hearing this on any of the news outlets like Fox News or CNN?
I don't know, but go to the DOJ.gov website. He was being paid $50,000 a month by the Chinese government.
That sounds like Hunter Biden. No, I think it would probably incite panic if that type of conversation was reported, consistently by both CNN and Fox News.
Well, Brian, I appreciate the phone call. Listen,
good call, Brian.
It's hard to verify that type of information. I'm not going to.
That's why I'm telling you to go to their website.
Well, we'll do that. We will we will certainly check it out, and I would like to know who exactly reported that and why the media is not reporting on it. But I will say this. I've said this before, and I'll say it again, and I don't know if this is true or not, but is it possible that the government, the president, is it possible, the CIA, that they know a lot more about this virus than we do? I would say yes, that's certainly a possibility.
It's not possible, Brian. It is an absolute stone-cold fact.
Well, I don't know if that's true or not. It's possible.
If you don't think that the president and the CIA and the powers that be in our government have more information about this virus than the average person.
Well, it's possible. I don't know the answer to that.
I would be very surprised if you
I'm opening up to a possibility. I don't know if it's 100% proven fact, and I'm not going to say that until we have some more proof. But let's get back to the phone calls at 257-5396. Let's go to Bob. Bob, you're next up on the Vegas Take. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, Bob?
Okay. I blame a lot of it on the impeachment and the Democrats in December. This thing erupted in December, and all the Democrats could see their blinders on. Impeachment.
You're saying the Democrats created the coronavirus?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay,
they
so
slowed it down. They didn't. They were more.
Okay, so who's in charge, and who is the president of the United States? Is he a Democrat?
No, he's a Republican.
Who's in charge? Who's in charge right now? Democrats or Republicans? Hold on a second. You just blame the Democrats. I'm asking you.
I think what he's doing is
I finish?
He's basically saying that
they could have slowed it down.
How?
All Adam Schiff had on was blind.
So you're blaming Adam Schiff, and you're saying Schiff. Hold on. You're saying Schiff could have slowed it down. Do you think the president? Do you think the? Okay. Fair enough. Do you think that?
Or it's possible that the specific Democrats conspired with China.
So do you think the president could have slowed it down? Since you're about to blame Democrats, do you so you give no responsibility to Trump and all.
All they're interested was impeachment.
So hold on a second. You're not answering my question. Bob, you're not answering my question. I get it. You want to blame Democrats and Adam Schiff. Who do you think is more responsible for getting things done in this country right now in this type of situation? Adam Schiff or Donald Trump? It's a simple question.
Donald Trump.
Thank you.
Adam Schiff block him everything he does.
Really, what has Adam Schiff blocked that Trump has tried to do in the last 2 months? Please explain.
Back in December, all he cared about, they had blinders on. All they cared about.
I didn't ask you about blinders. What specific things did Adam Schiff block from Donald Trump, since that's what you just said? Please explain. Exactly. You laugh and you can't answer the question. Have a nice day. 702-257. No, have a nice day. I gave you an opportunity. Don't you make claims about Adam Schiff and the Democrats if you can't back it up with facts. That was a ludicrous phone call. 702-257-5396. John is next. John, you're up next on the Vegas Take. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, John?
Hey, how are you?
Good. What's going on, John?
So I want to get your thoughts on what the Governor Sisolak's statutory authority is to actually close private businesses. He's got a lot of control over gaming, but if I were, say, a standalone bicycle shop or a barber shop, right? Listening to his language, he said should, and I agree. I agree with the message.
Sure.
But it seems to get reported as enforceable, and I don't think.
Yeah, you know what? That's a really good point you brought up, and I talked about this yesterday, and we talked about it in hour number 1. I don't personally think it's against the law for a bicycle shop to stay open. I don't know if they can cite you. I don't know if they can arrest you. My guess would probably be no, right?
I think that they can fine you. I don't think that you're going to see the National Guard.
But if you're a
coming
bike
down
shop,
and shutting and actually like closing the doors
Yeah.
with chains of these businesses.
Yeah.
But I think that there will be kind of like a whistleblower group that will report these businesses, and I've seen some of them kind of growing already. And when those businesses are reported, they will probably be not only shamed publicly, but also fined, is my guess on how that would work.
It's a very legitimate question, and I appreciate that question, and I talked about it yesterday. Is this martial law? What are we looking at here? And that's the one thing about Sisolak yesterday I didn't like. I'm going to try to squeeze in one more quick caller. I got 30 seconds for Gary. Gary, you got about 30 seconds, my man. I got to take a break. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, Gary?
Did Gary?
Not much, guys.
Yep, go ahead, Gary. Got 30 seconds. Yeah, go ahead, Gary.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I want to comment about the governor when he shut down all these businesses and 10 people or more. What about these construction sites? Like
I agree, Gary.
Stadium and Resort World.
Very good point.
We actually had a caller call in and talk about that.
Very good point, Gary. We had somebody called in, and he actually is a construction worker, and he just asked the same question that you asked. My answer is I don't know. I don't have an answer.
Well, and I think he asked that question because social distancing. I'm sure he's not more than 6 feet away from the people that he's around, and he's like, "Well, how is that not applying to me? How are we not going all in?" And we're just kind of picking and choosing, and when it's all about money.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, it is our hate mail segment of the day. Take a quick break. We'll be back right after this. You're listening to the Vegas Take on 101.5 FM, 720 AM, KDAWN.
I'm Ben Utek. I played high school, college.
All right, folks, 2 minutes, too.
Thank you.
Team win the 2006 championship. It was
Yeah,
an
thanks,
amazing
guys.
Day, but it can't compare to the joy I feel every
Be
day
back in a
with
couple
my
minutes,
loving
right?
wife and 3 beautiful daughters. My
90 seconds.
Yes, 90.
my 5th concussion.
Okay, thank you.
Did you know that over 1 million athletes suffer a concussion each year? That includes boys and girls, every age, every type and level of sport. It isn't always clear that a player has had a concussion, so parents, athletes, and coaches need to learn about concussion signs and symptoms. The American Academy of Neurology recommends athletes thought to have a concussion be immediately removed from play and not returned until assessed by a healthcare professional trained in concussion. This isn't just about sports. It's about your brain. When in doubt, sit it out. Learn more at aan.com/concussion. That's aan.com/concussion. A message from the American Academy of Neurology.
Most of us like to be out in the sun. That's why sunscreen and other safety measures are key to protecting your skin from aging and cancer. The FDA recommends using a sunscreen with a sun protection factor, or SPF, of 15.
All right, guys, 45.
Broad spectrum on the label. That means both harmful ultraviolet A and B rays are blocked. UVA rays age the skin. UVB rays burn. And both cause cancer. But the perfect sunscreen doesn't count if you use it wrong. Don't need sunscreen on a cloudy day? Wrong. 80% of UV rays still get through the haze. Only use sunscreen at the beach? Nope. Anytime you're outside, UV rays attack the skin, so you need protection. And you have to reapply sunscreen every 2 hours. Remember, SPF plus broad spectrum equal healthy fun in the sun. Visit www.
All right, guys, here we go. 10 seconds.
Sunscreen for more information. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Mark Levin, weekdays 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Now back to the Vegas Take on 101.5 FM, 720 AM, KDAWN.
All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take, Sharp and Shapiro. Want to remind you guys, we are also broadcasting live on YouTube. Don't only watch us on the Vegas Take page, but also subscribe. We are broadcasting live from my apartment. The reason for that is because Beasley broadcast in the KDWN studios. I'm not going to use the term kick this out. They had to do what they had to do. And that is, they're on lockdown, like many businesses will be on lockdown within the next 10 minutes.
It's very simple. We are not full-time employees, and so it's a company policy.
But anyway, regardless of that, we are still going to be broadcasting live. We're going to be doing that Thursday and Friday, and we are not going to just take a seat back and not do this because this is about you guys. We want to hear from you, and it's a reason why for the last 2.5 hours or so we've been hearing from you. We've been taking your calls. We want to hear your concerns. We want to hear your questions. And mark my words, we are going to give you the latest breaking information that we can while we are live on the air. That is what we are doing. It's going to be opinionated radio. We're not going to change our show, but we are going to try to deliver to you the best information that we can. Listen, there's other shows in Las Vegas you could listen to. We appreciate you listening to ours, but there are also a lot of other shows that are going to be doing 2 hours of talking about the Tom Brady trade today. That's not what we're going to be doing. We're going to be talking about the latest breaking news, this coronavirus, and what people are having to deal with on a regular hourly basis.
Right. We're gonna educate the listeners on so many different aspects of life that are being affected by what's going on. And we're going to have specialists on the show to do that. And then look at we have a show like Rush Limbaugh from 9 to noon, the exact same time slot, but that's a national show. He is not focusing on what's going on in Las Vegas. We are.
And we're also not going to blame Obama for 3 hours a day like he does either for this virus. But anyway, it is time for our hate mail segment of the day. Today is no different, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure there's a lot of great hate mail out there as I'm sitting in my kitchen broadcasting with all of you. I'm sitting here in my robe, so I'm sure there's plenty of hate mail to go around. Jason Stein is our producer. He is sitting in my kitchen as well. Stein, take her away.
Hey, Brian. The hate mail, coronavirus edition. And thank you everybody for watching on our YouTube and listening on KDAWN. And it's been a tough show, but we're doing our best for you. Here we go. YouTube viewer writes, "What the fudge is going on here? Looking at Brian's pasty white chest makes me want to hurl."
Maybe he just has the coronavirus.
Could be a woman.
He or she.
Yeah.
It's possible.
From what I understand, Brian, vomiting is not a consistent symptom of the coronavirus.
All right. Well, thank you, Doctor.
You're welcome.
Dr. Sharp. Thank you.
I like that.
Next comment. Brian's skin is so white, it's almost see-through.
Why would you want to see through my skin?
Well, I don't think they want to see through it. They're just saying you can see through it.
It is nearly translucent.
Translucent.
I'll agree with that.
Well, I'm sorry that you're jealous that your girlfriend stares at my sees through my skin every day. You know what? You can see through me. Unlike you, I can't see through you because you're probably a phony.
So if you wanted to go tanning, you couldn't do that right now, right?
Of course I could. Well,
no, you
it's
could.
not an essential business.
Exactly. You can't go tanning.
Says who?
You know what's funny? I'm not even going to say who it was.
I'm telling you. But tanning is an essential business for about 35% of the population.
JD, yesterday we were at a celebrity's house yesterday. I'm not going to say who it was. It's like a $10 million house we were in. And this celebrity has a very hot girlfriend. So she walks into the room, and this was when Sisolak broke all the news, and she says, "I got to go get my nails done. I'm not going to be able to get my nails done for 30 days. And you know what the celebrity husband said? He says to her, "That's what you care about, not food and water. You care about your damn nails." It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. It was hilarious. Anyway, go ahead with the hate mail, Stein.
Next comment. Brian has the virus. Hashtag get Brian off the air.
Yeah, well, hashtag I have the logic. Hashtag.
You know what? I can appreciate that consistency.
Go ahead, Stein.
Even in these trying times, people don't want you on air, Brian. Next comment. Brian looks like he is disintegrating right before our eyes. I am here loving every minute of it. And then they did an emoji of a popcorn. Like they're in the movies.
Hey, as long as it gets them to watch and listen, that's all I care about, my friends. Go ahead, Stein.
Once again, next comment. Brian is once again fear-mongering.
And it's funny, they say that, but they can't name one specific thing that I've said the entire show that would be labeled as fear-mongering. I've said, listen to your politicians. I've said, take care of yourself. Explain to me how that's fear-mongering. I've said there's a lot of unanswered questions when it comes to this virus. Take care of yourself. The governor did the right thing last night. How is that fear-mongering? If I said all of you are going to die tomorrow or half the country's going to die, that would be fear-mongering. I haven't said one thing. Notice when people say things like that, and then I put them in a corner and I say, name one thing I've said that's fear-mongering. They say, oh, no, I'm not saying you fear-mongering. It's the Democrats. Just give me a break with this fear-mongering nonsense.
Even the coronavirus will not keep some people away from bashing Michael Avenatti, former guest on our show. Someone who actually calls himself Michael Avenatti writes, I thought I might call in today. What's the number?
You know what? We'd love to have him call in. By the way, speaking of jail cells, I wonder how this virus is affecting the jail cell system. What if somebody in there has symptoms? I wonder if they're testing them. Think about it. Unless you're in isolation.
Next comment from Michael, different Michael. I'm stuck at home for the next 30 days. Is this what I have to look forward to? Meaning watching you in your robe do the show.
Apparently. Yeah, apparently. I don't know how to help him there.
Someone who calls himself Tucker Carlson, although I doubt it's the real Tucker. This is one of the most pathetic things I've ever witnessed right here. We can hear you over the commercial break, you idiots.
Okay, well, that's not our fault.
That's not our fault.
That's not our fault.
That's Sean's fault.
That's not our fault. That's whoever is in charge of the board that is saying that you can hear us during the commercial break. So
I've been saying a lot of bad things during the commercial breaks.
You have. I wonder what we were saying.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Stein.
Susan writes, I could hear you over the commercial breaks, you dum-dums.
Okay, well, we certainly weren't talking about you because you're not important enough. Go ahead, Stein.
Next comment. We should all enjoy this hack radio program before it's gone. So ridiculous. LOL.
I don't listen to hack radio programs, but apparently you do. You know, I don't like the Kardashians. You don't hear me commenting on their Kardashian fan page and watching the Kardashian show every night. Get a life.
Next comment. Brian is so creepy. Just imagine waking up to that face every morning. Oh, Lord.
Well, you wake up to it every day because you watch our YouTube page every day. So you're doing exactly what you're telling everyone else not to do.
Brian, do you think you're being funny with that whiny voice? But basically, it's just your regular voice amplified. That's when you were making fun of actress Vanessa Hudgens?
Yeah, exactly. They obviously have no idea what they're talking about. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Christine writes, this program is really amateurist, and nobody wants to see Brian's sunken chest.
That's what they say about her when she does her voyeur amateurist stuff. Nobody wants to see her chest either. All right, so listen.
Sunken chest.
And finally, is there any chance Brian can keep his finger out of his nose for just a few minutes?
Well, I would say, is there a chance you could take your finger out of your? Oh, forget it. I'll end that sentence there. All right. Well, listen, folks. We are going to be live on the air tomorrow, folks. Same time, same place. Tune us in tomorrow. We're going to be on YouTube. Check us out on Twitter at The Vegas Take. We are going to be broadcasting live, and this is more about you than it is about us. We'll have special guests, and we'll take more of your phone calls tomorrow, folks. Thanks for joining us. Sean Hannity is coming up next.
Your home for
All right, gentlemen, thank you.
KDWN
Thanks, Sean.
Las Vegas.
You got it.
LZHD2 Las Vegas, a Beasley Media Group station.
Please make sure we're off. I mean, we're getting comments that people could hear us over the commercial breaks.
% if Congress fails to take steps to support the economy, though President Trump disagrees.
No, I don't agree. That's a absolute total worst case scenario. But no, we don't look at that at all.
The government is barring evictions and foreclosures for now.
We got through it. Yeah, don't say we're not employees. No, that's nobody's business.
Well, you keep saying we're kicked out.
He was doing that as a joke.
Yeah,
I'm doing it as a joke.
Okay, well,
and
I'm just saying.
No, I know, but
we're out there.
It's just, I
But
don't
all
want
you have
people
to
to
say
know
our
that.
office is closed.
Yeah,